Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Grappler Union podcast. Javier Palomo alongside Anthony Zito. Our guest today is Ryan Quinn. Ryan is a black belt under Renzo Gracie, is the head instructor at ITC Jiu-Jitsu in Astoria, Queens, and is known as Pizza Jitsu on Instagram, where he makes many funny memes. Enjoy.
I hate the 6 minutes. That's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You taught me using any technique that works. Never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
When I hit you to take part, I hit to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
All right, we are live with Quinn. I'm just gonna call you Quinn. That's it. Just Quinn.
Yeah, thank you.
Like
for that.
Prince?
Like
just
Prince.
one
like
name?
Cher, just Quinn.
Yeah, C. Ryan Quinn, CR Quinn, or just Quinn.
Right.
Professor Quinn, Grandmaster Quinn.
Professor Quinn sounds awesome
Yeah,
for the
that
record.
sounds good.
Yeah.
My students, they call me Supreme Leader.
Oh,
I would insist upon that as
Fancy.
well. How did you come to that one? Did they select you as their supreme leader?
No,
or
they
do
don't
you
like to call
insist?
me, but I require it.
there
Okay.
you go.
And which academy is that where they have to do that?
I teach at ITC Jiu-Jitsu International Training Center in Astoria, Queens,
Nice.
For those that don't
Yeah.
know, that is in New York City,
New York City, USA, planet Earth.
planet Earth. Yes, very vital detail. Need to know where the supreme leader is at all times.
That's true. You know what's at my academy? They everyone calls me by my last name, Zito, but
Except for some people who call you Zitu.
yeah, right, exactly. So they'll my teammates will just say to new students, if I'm teaching, they'll say, "Oh, Zito will be your instructor," and they'll come and introduce me, and I'll introduce myself as Anthony. And they kind of look confused, like, "Oh, is the name?" Because I feel weird introducing myself as Zito. I just like call me Zito. I'm like, but it worked very well for you, like Quinn. I'm like, okay,
Everyone-
I can get on board with that,
Everyone I know calls you Zito, though. Like,
but I can't introduce myself as the Zito. I feel like I'm just saying Zito. Like it's not a Quinn. It can be used as a first name. Like we
Zito
talked
can be a
about.
first name too.
Could it? I don't
It's
think
gotta
so.
It sounds like a pasta.
Right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, where's that from?
I guess it's.
Oh, what kind of answer is that? You know what
I mean,
Naples?
Italy.
Naples. I guess Naples. Yeah, my father is Nabladan and my mother is Calabrese. So
That's pretty sick, man. That's like Naples is where pizza comes from.
And you
And
are
Calabrese is a salad.
yeah, I guess it is Calabrese, Calabria.
on this subject of food, Quinn here is actually. Oh, I killed him. He's got a fantastic Instagram
What a segue.
handle.
Why? What is it?
He is known to the larger world as Pizza Jitsu.
Yeah.
Pizza Jitsu?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
He travels the world kicking ass and eating pizza. I mean, what more
now
do
you're
you
in
want?
Chicago. What did you have?
What have you had so far?
What have you
Are
had?
we about to fight right now? Because
We are
I'm
gonna-
not, when it comes to Chicago pizza, I don't even
What?
really consider it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's serious. What happened?
Losing fans by the moment here.
What happened to Chicago
no,
pizza?
no one's coming to my Chicago seminar tomorrow after this. They weren't coming before because apparently everyone has a mom that they love.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, not
there's a-
everyone, because we do have some people signed up.
Yeah, actually, it's the perfect time. Valentine's Day actually is the prime time.
Oh,
Do you
for
think
sure.
to run a seminar? Because if you're single and lonely,
It's the only human contact you're going to get is rolling.
exactly, dude. It's like you're not going to roll around with a female. You might as well do it with some sweaty males in a basement somewhere.
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to be a basement though. It could be at a regular
At a
gym.
nice academy?
Yeah, it could
No.
be a nice
If
academy.
you're going to have one on Valentine's Day, you probably want to go with the basement.
Go dark.
Actually, one of the girls that was at the seminar today, I'm not going to name names, but people that are fans of the podcast can probably figure it out. We were talking, and I'm like, "Are you coming to the seminar tomorrow?" She's like, "I really shouldn't," but I'm like, "Hey, it's your day, Mom. If that's how you want to spend it." Because I damn well know if there's a seminar on Father's Day, and there is, that's what I'm doing, and my family is accepting it.
That's
Who's
awesome.
coming on Father's Day?
Wagner, Hocha.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, so you want him to shove his fingers in your mouth?
No. We're gonna limit that stuff because of the celebratory nature of the seminar. But
That's like his move, though. Like if he was a character in Mortal Kombat, that's his fatality.
Fingers in the mouth, fish hooking.
oh man, yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe we'll focus on Kimuras and not so much the muffler.
He's rough, man. That's the Kimura of the face, though.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't even know. It's like there's no rule about what you do with your fingers before the match. There's not a single. I've never seen a promotion that has
Really?
rules about that.
Like
the referee has never smelled the competitor's fingers and disqualified them.
That's true.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's actually the funny thing. Like everyone I know that runs an academy has that tendency to be like ultra paranoid about like, wash your feet before you get on the mats, all this hygiene and cleanliness stuff.
Right,
but
right.
then we go to a tournament and people just wandering around everywhere. Some people have flip flops, some people don't.
100%. And some people go to the bathroom with their bare feet. And I'm like, what? And then they're on the mat later. I'm like, oh, this is wrong on so many levels. So many levels.
I get like weird fantasies when I see that shit. Like I imagine that the bathroom is just damp. Like it's not flooded, but the floor is damp.
Moist.
There's a thin layer of liquids across the floor. And I imagine that liquid is hooked up to a car battery. So should you enter the bathroom, and you're not doing it right, you get fucked up.
Yeah.
I feel like we should make this happen. Like only the possible risk of cardiac arrest makes me say that maybe it's a bad idea. But what's the sufficient low voltage shock that we could run through the local bathrooms and still be safe? Somebody must know that answer. Probably our electrician buddy, Paul Maloney.
Probably who's right now in Ireland.
Still?
He
How long
just
is he
got
going to be
married
there?
yesterday.
Man, I thought we talked last week and he was getting married last week.
He left.
I screwed
He
that
left
all
last
up.
week. He left last week. Dude, I had a freaking weird dream that I was like there. It's so bizarre. Like this week, because I feel bad.
In
honestly,
Ireland or working
in Ireland
in an electrical company?
No, not electrical. In Ireland at his wedding. So I feel bad that I wasn't able to go, and
So he understands that you hate him.
yeah, right. So I dreamt like I was there, and it was just really weird, and it was. But then I woke up. I'm like, it was like I think it was like Tuesday. I'm like,
You're like a confirmed deadbeat, huh? Like you
Yeah.
didn't go to this guy's wedding. You're not coming to my seminar tomorrow.
I'm all fucked up.
What the fuck?
So
Do you
bad.
make anything?
I don't do anything.
Name like two things that you've been to. Yeah.
Do you even do jujitsu, sir?
I don't do anything.
You enjoy Chicago pizza.
Yeah.
Some of it, right?
Yeah. So I wake up and I'm like, fuck, man. And I started looking for flights. I'm like, can I make it there by Friday? And it was Tuesday.
wow.
So
That's
I'm
serious guilt right there.
Yeah, I felt really bad. So I'm like, I think I could pull this off. All right. So if I call my clients, I could just cancel this, move that around. Okay, I can leave tomorrow at 3:50, and then I'll be there Thursday morning. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. And then I'm like, what am I thinking? I can't do this. It's ridiculous. 2 days. Plus, it was like the plane ticket was like $2,000.
Right. See, I love Paul, and I wish him the best. And I think visiting Ireland would be awesome. And for sure, like my wife wants to go to Ireland. It's on the bucket list, so we're gonna go at some point. But fuck a wedding. I got no use for that. I've been married too long. There's no appeal to a wedding whatsoever. I don't drink. I don't like dancing. I can't try to seduce the bridesmaids anymore. Like,
Right.
What am I going to go
What's
for?
the point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Just somebody.
No wedding crashers for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
It's out.
Yeah, so many other things I could be doing.
Right.
Just an expensive birthday party.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
And anyway, everyone's getting fucking divorced now anyway, so it's...
that's true. I think the numbers are above 50% at this point.
Probably is. Yeah.
Well, hey, I had one divorce, so
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. So let's get back to this pizza thing now. What's up with Chicago pizza now? What are you thinking? I'd like to hear your thoughts.
It's not good.
Whoa.
That's my main problem with it, yeah.
What have you had?
He's probably
With
had
the deep dish one.
Oh yeah.
Which one?
At a couple different places. I don't remember any names because
Okay.
it's the
You
kind
try to
of
wipe them from
memory
your-
you want to repress.
Yeah,
So,
I hear you.
it's
Well, I'm
pain-
sure I feel the same way. If I had bad pizza, I want to repress that memory too.
I'm going
It's
to take him to
painful even talking about
Garibaldi's.
it.
That's what I'm going to do.
What's that?
So
That's the chain. It's like a chain.
no. There's only a couple of them. There's like 3 left.
Of what?
Garibaldi's.
Oh,
Garibaldi's Pizza.
I never had it.
Yeah, you wouldn't know about it. You're
I
not from
don't
the right
know
area.
about it.
So here's the thing. I grew up my whole life, small town, suburb, and in the mall nearby, there's this place called Garibaldi's Pizza. Okay. And we would get like these little coupons for getting good grades. You could come in and get like a free slice if you got like a high enough grade point average in like first, second grade. They were training me early. Okay, so I grew to love this place as a kid. So I'm like, oh, I got good grades. I got my little slice of pizza coupon, and we'd go over there. And like as a kid growing up, like the only pizza I really knew was like Garibaldi's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars. Like that. Like those were the.
It sounds like a rough childhood.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
does sound
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
On the plus side, I also grew up next to the original Portillo's. So, once we're talking about real Chicago food, right
now
there.
You got my attention.
There you go.
But so my whole life, like Garibaldi's was my favorite of that bunch. Okay, it was nearby. It was just down at the mall by my house and whatnot. And I grew up loving that stuff. It was thin crust. It was real flavorful and everything. And what I never knew was that Garibaldi's is a New York style pizzeria. The guy that owns it is originally from New York, and so everything I knew about pizza as a kid growing up, about Chicago pizza, was actually New York style pizza. And
this
What's that
open?
show where you find out if you're the father or not?
yeah, you
I feel like
Maury.
Maury Povich.
Yeah. Well, it messed with me too, though, because like Chicago, like when you order a pie here, a lot of times they'll do what we call a party cut, where it's little squares. Okay, and I'm like, what's up with that? Like you watch the Ninja Turtles and shit, like it's always a triangle, and that's the way they serve it at Garibaldi's. So like that's the real pizza. Obviously, that's what pizza looks like everywhere, except like you order. I know the Rosati's, but you order Rosati's, they're gonna give you a little chopped, or you go to Luminati's or something like that. You're gonna need to have a spoon and a knife because it's basically a stew.
You shouldn't need cutlery. It's So this is a jiu-jitsu podcast, huh?
Nominally.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is.
The conversation meanders here and there.
It does go around, yes.
We try not to limit ourselves too much.
What's up with that wedding ring?
This one here?
Have you talked about it on the podcast before?
I don't believe I have.
All right, so listen, Javier's wedding band appears to be glow in the dark.
That is 100% accurate.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Is
It's
it really?
glow in the-
I didn't even know that.
That's some baller ass shit, man. That's like I'm married, but I like to party. Basically the opposite of what you said about going to the
weddings.
Yeah.
Well, don't tell my wife that because she's usually there with me.
Yeah.
I can see Javi at like one of those like after hours 4 a.m. opening. Oh yeah.
Oh, could you now?
For sure. With his glow in the dark.
Man, this is
ring.
Yeah, like a swingers party, but everyone dresses like animals or something.
Okay, not that.
Like
maybe-
a furry?
Why not, man?
Wait, like a furry?
Sure. I don't
No,
know. Dude,
no,
there
no,
you
no,
go.
no.
There you go, Javi.
Stop this rumor right now.
Javi, what furry would you be? What animal would you be?
I'm not comfortable with this conversation
Why not?
because I don't know the answer to the question.
All right, dude, just give us a vague top 3 of the sexiest animals that come to mind.
Yeah.
No. It's just
It says a lot about you, man. Yeah. Some people are into like manatees and shit. That's cool.
nobody's into man. Well, you just spent some time in Florida, so maybe you ran into some people that are into manatees. But
Is that a thing? Is there like a whole subreddit about that or what?
there probably is. Yeah, there's a subreddit for friggin' everything, so I wouldn't be
Google
surprised.
search away from it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not making that search.
Yeah, that's like a definitely.
Yeah.
You gotta
I am,
clear your
however,
history.
however, look at my phone and make sure I turned off my ringers.
Oh,
Yeah.
You think someone's gonna call you this late?
No.
yeah, we're not that popular.
Yeah.
Well, speak for yourself, sir. Just came from a 70-year-old man's birthday party.
That is true. You did.
That was his birthday party.
Yeah. So Barry Phillips turned 70.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Shout out to Barry.
7 decades undefeated.
Yeah. Still rolling strong day in, day out. He invited Clark Gracie out to do a seminar at his academy, and the proceeds went to a charity called Planting Seeds International. So all the money went to that, and they do early education in underdeveloped countries, focusing right now on Guatemala. So yeah, like we had an awesome seminar from the Omoplata master. He used me and abused me extensively. My shoulder will never be the same.
Did you roll with him?
I did not get a chance to roll with.
But did he roll?
No, not today.
Oh, no.
Not today. Usually Clark does.
He does normally, yeah.
Yeah, but there was too much cake.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
there was rolling after the seminar, but Clark didn't roll. I actually, after like, I don't know, it was like a 3-hour-long seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's saying their goodbyes and congratulations to Barry and whatnot. And he looks over and he's like, everyone got to roll but me. And I'm like already changed into my clothes, ready to go. And I look at him and I'm like, do you want to roll?
Right.
And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I go get changed back into my gi, and we rolled for like another half hour after the seminar was over.
That's fun.
Yeah. But it was a good time. It's a good time.
Quinn, do you roll at your seminars?
Yeah, I always do.
That's good. That's a good
I
sign.
don't think I've ever had any exceptions. But I will say it's different than visiting most academies and rolling with people. You guys taught like seminars and stuff?
I have, yeah.
Do you ever get like, a lot of the classes like super cool and they want to train stuff and that's great. And then you have like a couple dudes that basically what the seminar was is an entrance fee for them to fight you at the end of the seminar.
Right. Yeah. I've had that exact experience once. There was apparently money on the line about it too.
Really?
Yeah, we're not going to go into all those details.
Why not?
No.
Talking about
We'll
dude.
save that for another podcast.
Why? We're here now.
No.
Let's talk. Come on, Quinn, help me out.
Nah.
Javi, man, people want to hear these
He
stories.
made the fucking story up.
He
man.
did.
No,
This is
no.
the perfect diversion from like the furry thing. If you don't
It
tell
is.
us the story, we're coming back to the furry thing. I'm setting a timer on my phone every 3 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I get your top 3.
So this has happened to you where you felt like these guys were just going to come
Coming
after
for
you.
death.
Yeah, it was almost like I think like 2 occasions. You go against one dude who's like the 230-pound guy, who's a 230-pound like brown belt who showed up, and it's like the finals of something,
Right.
some competition that's it
Probably
takes
a
place-
Naga.
It takes place only in his mind,
Right.
It's like you have like a submission locked in, and you're like, am I gonna have to break this person's leg?
Yeah.
you got to consider all this other shit. Like, am I going to be the guy who
Yeah, this
has
is
to
sounding
break
familiar.
this guy's leg in front of everyone? I should have gone with a choke, you know. And then you beat him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, man. Thanks a lot." And you look over, and he's like, got his friend there, who's the 250-pound brown belt. It's like, did
And
I
he's
just enter? I
salivating.
entered a quintet tournament. You know what I mean? I didn't know I was going to miss. Holy shit! And I don't know. It's like. It's like a risk of injury and stuff, so I kind of have a method now I still want to roll with everyone, and I don't want to have a couple bad apples. I'm not getting paid to compete, basically, and like risk getting my arm broken because someone is like flailing at me trying to murder me,
Right.
So
what do you do?
and there's no glory in it either. Usually I'll talk to the instructor because I don't want those people to, and they're not like bad or anything, but that doesn't work for me. I don't want them to kind of ruin it for the people who are like super cool and everything,
Right.
and they just want to have a regular role instead of a fight to the death. I don't have to threaten to break their bodies. I usually talk to whoever's like running the seminar, or not running the seminar, but maybe like whoever's hosting, whoever's venue it is, and I'll talk to them. Be like, hey man, can you find me like a good person to roll with? Is there anyone around that you think I should roll with? And they'll pick me someone, because then it's like it's kind of on them that they're not going to pick the spazziest, most aggressive person in the room. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll protect me from those people.
Yeah,
That make sense?
it does make sense. I mean, I try doing. I mean, when I teach the fundamentals class, and then I have to pair up people at the end of the class, and I try to keep that in mind because you just don't want anyone to get hurt. Period. But
What if it would be really entertaining?
I do pair up some more aggressive wrestler type guys because it's and it's a fundamentals class. We get some wrestlers in there, and some jack guys and some. I'm like, man, I just want to see these two fucking go at it a little bit. And it's fun because they don't know submissions so well, but they can scramble really really well because they're both wrestlers. So I'll put them together. I'm like,
So you put them
let's see.
together, but off in a corner
In a
where
corner.
they can't flail on anyone.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
funny, man. Yeah,
but
I heard-
it's kind of cool.
I heard a story of like elementary school teachers, or maybe it was daycare or something, and they were running
Fight
like
Club?
a kid fight club. Yes, dude. You're running a fundamentals class fight club, man.
Basically, yeah.
You should be recording this shit.
That's awesome.
If we ever put together a Patreon for this show, that's going to be the secret content. It's going
Yeah.
to be Zito's Fundamentals Fight Club.
Fundamentals Fight Club. So fucked up.
That's hilarious.
That's
It's like
awesome.
They don't know how to do shit, but it's like it's going to be a brawl, man.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
They just go. "Fah," They grip each other, just hold on for dear life. It's so fucked up.
Actually, refereeing for Naga, those are kind of the best matches where it's like both of the people, it's like they've only studied how to attack and submit the other person, but they don't know anything about defense.
Right.
So they're just like throwing moves at each other. You know what I mean? 0 armor, 100%. You know what I mean? Attack.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Jeez.
Till one of them
They're
dies.
just spamming attacks.
Basically, that's
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how was the Naga today?
So it was Naga, Chicago today.
Chicago in
was-
air quotes there.
Yeah.
'cause-
But I mean, dude, it's always like that. You know, it's like it's supposed to be on Earth, but actually it's on the moon. That's kind of, you know, I guess it just works out for the venues and stuff. I don't deal with the logistics, so
Right.
Where was it at though? Where was it actually? Where was the venue?
I believe, if I remember correctly, remember where we had the first fight to win?
Yes,
All the way down there.
Was
Was it Linwood?
Linwood? Yeah.
Okay, I think that's where the new Naga
Way
venue
south,
was.
yeah. I mean,
Sorry.
he's from New York.
It's okay.
I don't
Hey,
even know
yeah.
I don't even know the name of the venue. I can't remember.
You got there.
It's a big
You did your
building.
thing. That's all that mattered.
There's a building. There's trees outside.
Yeah.
I don't know, parking lot.
Yeah, I think somebody had said it was Linwood. Normally, I think they did it at the Oak Lawn Pavilion, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and the Mac Center in McCook,
Yeah,
they would do it.
Yeah, McCook.
Yeah.
McCook.
So those are I think the big two that traditionally it was at.
Yeah.
The last one was in McCook.
So you work for Naga?
Yeah.
Not exclusively.
Yeah,
Not
you said it with a
exclusively.
weird like tone.
Did I?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, do you work against Naga or for
He
them?
does.
Or like,
He
what-
Are you in the pro
What does that
Naga
mean?
camp?
What are you really asking when you say that? You know?
Just looking at your hat, your
no
Make
idea.
Naga Great Again hat. Your Naga hat.
Wow. Okay, my hat. Doesn't it look anything like a "Make America Great Again" hat? I need to make
No,
that
actually,
very clear.
it says virtue.
Stop
does.
trying to take the eyes off the glow in the dark wedding ring.
And the furry. Going back to that furry, we will get an answer out of you by the end of the podcast.
Well, I'll have enough time to think about it by
Yes,
the end
you
of
do.
the podcast,
you do.
I guess.
You do. So Naga, we were talking before the podcast about now they're using smooth comp. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And that's helping a little bit
With the smoothness.
with the smoothness of the brackets.
Yeah, the competition is much smoother now.
Yeah.
It's
But-
you know, it used to be all like handwritten on
Right.
index cards and stuff. It was like kind of a little old school, but now it's in the year 2019 with this new smooth comp thing, and it's like there's kind of some. I think every tournament has got to go through a growing pain with that. That was like kind of the first month and stuff, but we have dedicated staff. I don't know. I'm a contractor with them, so us. I and them have dedicated staff where we get flown out to different parts of the countries and stuff. So it'll be the same crew in New York as it is in Chicago or Florida or something like that, at least for the most part. So the people are good at what they do. I've run probably 4,000 matches, 3,000 matches, 4,000 matches. So I've seen a lot of bad jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Basically, and
Have you-
some good too.
Yeah, I was going to say, occasionally
You know
you get surprised, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, just the way the statistics work, 6 out of 10 matches are white belts.
Yeah.
3 out of 10 are blue. And then that 1 out of 10 is like purple and up,
Right.
So
What is it? I mean, does Naga give like some kind of incentive for black belts to come in, like free registration, half off, or anything like that?
no.
No, huh?
Not that I'm aware of, yeah. That'd be-
Cool belt.
There you go. Yeah. Looks like that one over there on the wall.
That's not that cool.
Oh, damn.
Sorry. It's
No
not.
love for that belt?
I don't really have love for that belt.
What if you were German, though? If you were German,
If I was German.
Naga, the most exciting tournament in the world today. Yeah.
I could do something with that logo. That logo has got to change.
Is it not a nice, clean design like you
The
prefer?
logo was good, like we were talking earlier. It's like many years ago.
How many years ago?
Probably about.
What's the line there?
When
where
did Naga start? What year was
Oh,
that?
Jesus. I mean, it wasn't even Naga when it started.
22 years ago, I want to say, because there was like a 20th year anniversary, I think, but that
Okay.
was like 2 years ago or maybe 3 years ago. 20 to 25 years.
Crazy. That's crazy.
If
That
I had to
that
guess, I
logo
was gonna
definitely
say-
needs to be adjusted.
I was going to say 98, but it was before it was Naga. It was. I don't even know if they used
NAGC.
it. NAGC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe it was North
'cause-
American grappling competition.
No, because
or
before
something? I
that,
don't
wasn't
know.
it Northeastern grappling?
Maybe it might have been that.
Competition or associate? Yeah, it was like Nega or Negc or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, like because it was all out on the East Coast originally, and then it spread. And I mean, like back in the day, like we didn't even have the IBJJF here. There were no like Naga was the tournament.
Right. Yeah.
So things have changed significantly. You know,
I wonder what the
now we got
mindset
30
is.
tournaments in a month.
What's the mindset of like, I mean, just if overall, like just in corporations, businesses, rebranding is not like a horrible thing to do. I mean, every company, Coca-Cola, the UFC, everybody does something. Even my company, my computer company, I've rebranded my logo, through the years, from when I first started.
Your logo
17 years
also
ago.
used to have flames on it.
No, it did not have flames on it, but it was
like a
ridiculous.
parakeet orange.
looking.
Yeah,
Jesus,
but
sure.
that's why you had to rebrand it. There wasn't enough flames. Where were the flames?
Got to add more flames. Need more cowbell. So I mean, it's just a matter of having to look at that and say, okay, well, maybe we should rebrand. Let's just change it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be a huge change. There does need to be a little bit of a change in theirs dramatically for me, my tastes. But I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Well, Kip Kohler's going to hear this podcast. He's like, "You're right. We do need changing." He's going to find a way to add more flame.
I highly doubt he'll do that.
It's got more flames than any other grappling competition
That's
right
true.
now.
That's true. Yeah, I can't think of another one with so much fire.
So much.
Kasai is moving in on that though. It's actually I think that's
is that their
Japanese
goal?
for fire.
Yeah. Kasai.
Oh, I didn't realize that was the battlegrounds there
Yeah,
the whole time.
It's actually, it's interesting because whenever you look at a company that's successful, and Naga is definitely, it's a successful business or whatever competition. People go to it. The biggest tournaments attract over 1,000 people or 1,200 people or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say the record or something is like maybe 2,000 or almost like 2,000 people over the course of 2 days.
Damn.
And if you're trying to run a competition, you would have to look at Naga as one of your influences if you're trying to like make something successful.
Right.
If it's like an amateur competition like that, people are paying to show up and compete or whatever. But then it comes down to what portion of their model are you going to copy? So, I mean, like if you're going to open a jiu-jitsu academy or something, like you've seen that other people are doing it and they're doing it well and they're successful or whatever they're trying to do with their jiu-jitsu academy. But what are the variables that they're excelling at that you can, like, where are you trying to take their playbook and where can it improve? Where are you trying to take something from somewhere else? So Kasai might be taking something from Naga that Anthony Zito you don't think is very valuable.
The flames.
Not saying I agreed or disagree.
The flames.
Publicly.
You have competed for Kasai, right?
Yeah, I have.
How was that?
The competition, actually, if you want to get into it, it was at the Hammerstein Ballroom, which is like it's like an opera house or some shit, man.
Right.
It's there's like a stage, and then the mat was like right in the middle of like a huge, what would normally be like general area seating for maybe the stage or something, and then like 2 or 3 balconies. It was crazy, beautiful venue. And the warm-up mats were downstairs directly below where the stage was. So as the matches were going on, you just hear like
Thunderous noise.
and then the crowd like,
Wow.
and then just like an announcer like muffled like, and then like a pause and like, and the crowd going wild and stuff.
Yeah.
It was scary. It was scary as fuck, man.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's down there, and then you would just see your teammates like one by one like get called up, and it's like, all right, man, I hope you come back alive. Dude, it was weird. It was weird.
It's like the fighting pits
Yeah.
back in like,
Ancient-
Rome,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like get called
Exactly.
out to the lions.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
a good aesthetic, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
100%. Dude, it's terrible. No one went out there looking like they were ready to brawl.
Really?
It was like, yeah, they all had a look in their eye like they were the next one getting executed or something. And you couldn't tell what happened until they got downstairs because everything was so muffled. You just heard like shakes. You heard like like small earthquake tremors.
Right.
And like muffled crowd. And you're like, hope that was my guy. They had like TVs down there that was supposed to give you a feed, but it didn't work. And at any of these big shows, the backstage is a little bit of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I can't say it's nice. Every once in a while, you go to a tournament that has like a good level of like respect as like a pro thing, and then you look in the back room and it's like the mat can't fit half of a human body on it. It's like, I'm supposed to warm up on this? What am I supposed to do,
Right.
dude?
Let alone 6 of us are going to warm up on it at the same time.
I can do squats on it. I can't do push-ups. You know?
Well, you're a tall guy, so there's they're probably designed the mat for an individual of my stature.
Maybe.
Yeah, because they had a big warm-up mat. I'm not talking about them, you know. But that was cool. I want to get on this next one in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Anyone in particular? Are you?
I have some people in mind, but no one from Florida, which is not good. Who's 185 in Florida? Who would do a match with me?
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. It's tough. It's tough getting the matches, you know.
Most of the people that I know in Florida are actually kind of smaller. Those are just my people.
Yeah, it seems like there's a trillion people to compete against at 145, 155, and 170 no gi.
Right.
And then when you
it
start
just drops off.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about like the upper middle class, you know, which is kind of where I'm at, where it's like I'm not like winning ADCC or any of that shit, you know, me personally.
Right.
But it's like I'm better than like your average whatever, you know, person. And it's like what's the mid-tier event? You know what I'm saying? What's like I'm doing like undercards on like Kasai and stuff, and I'm winning like regional tournaments like Rise or whatever it may be. So who are like the really good guys, not the great guys, but the really good ones at those weights? I don't know. You know, does anyone know? I have no idea. It's not like...
It's also like, that's very oddly specific. Like, it's probably...
But there is that at 55 and 45. I can rattle off like a list
A bunch of
names
guys
at
that are
45,
like
55,
not quite
and
there.
70. Yeah, I can give you
Okay,
like
yeah.
a depth chart up to like 50 people at those weights.
Well,
you know?
in Nogi, I mean, what about 10th Planet? They've got some 185ers in 10th Planet.
Yeah, Kyle Chambers. That's like one of the guys that I'm talking about. You know,
Okay.
like On It champ, Sapatiero champ, like that level of guy. You know,
Yeah, probably get with Josh Leduc and talk to him. He knows most of the scene down there. Find out, you know, who's ideal that's local.
Are you looking to do anything with like combat jiu-jitsu?
How big is Brian Brown from 10th Planet?
I've never like been rolling with someone and been like, you know what? You know what's missing from this is I'm not getting slapped in the face. It's like, this is great, but no one's slapping me. So,
You know, if that's what you're into, that can be arranged.
I find it a very awkward. It's like the hand job of MMA. You know what I mean? Tell me I'm wrong. Is it come out of your nose?
No, it did not.
The water came out of your nose?
It did not. Almost.
Oh my god, that was funny as fuck. Oh, that's so fucked
We
up.
accused you of being a furry on air, and you didn't flip me off. But I said that combat jiu-jitsu was the hand job of MMA.
And water
you give me the
almost, but not
finger.
quite, came off out of my nose.
I didn't know combat jiu-jitsu was so close to your heart.
It is not, but your timing was impeccable there.
We have beer in there if you want some beer. I don't know if you
If
drink.
you'll join me for one.
I don't drink. Javi,
I don't drink.
Man,
Yeah, we're not exciting people like
I'm not
that.
excited, but we have a lot of it. If Paul was here, he would surely drink with you.
All right. Definitely.
Who's Paul?
Paul,
Former
is
co-host.
Former co-host. He's one of
Wow, what happened, dude? You got some
That's-
dirt on Paul?
dude.
That's
Give
the
me
guy
the
that went-
behind the scenes of the Grapplers Union podcast.
He's in Ireland right now.
Yeah,
That's
well,
the guy.
Wow, he had to flee the country.
He
Was
fled
it
the
that bad?
country. It was that bad. Yeah. It's
What did he
fucked
say
up.
about combat jiu-jitsu that pissed you guys off?
Oh man, no, no. Paul, he just had work, a lot of work, so he couldn't.
Life.
Yeah,
Life got in the way.
life got in the way. So we got Javi.
Thanks.
Who's
Wow, he put it like that, huh?
just fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, the
Well,
rebounds.
Javi helped us immensely in the beginning of this podcast because we don't really know. Paul and I didn't know really anyone. I was a white belt, and Paul was a blue belt at the time.
Sounds about
And
right.
But you guys don't even talk about jiu-jitsu, so what does it matter?
We barely talk about jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's a lot of jujitsu.
120-some episodes.
It depends. Yeah. Sometimes we stay on that subject a little bit better than other times.
Other times we talk about furries and what hobby would be.
Yeah, no.
I can see
this
the
is-
memes right now.
This is definitely a first.
There's so many pictures of Javi out there. I would like to see a nice Instagram post of Javi in some type of furry outfit.
Yeah.
I
What
fucking hate you.
our listeners think would look good on Javi.
Can I
don't
put
know.
it this way?
Let's do it.
So listen,
Yeah.
like one Exhibit A, wedding ring. Exhibit B. I'm not saying I don't judge anyone. I want you to be exactly who you are. You know, I want you to be your freaky self. I want you to do it. It's not that I don't care. I want you to do it. I want it. That's what I want.
Okay.
So, out of all the jiu-jitsu associations, the one with the highest furry count, it has to be 10th Planet. It has to be. Give me who's your number one besides them?
I really don't know, but
There's nothing wrong with it.
I've got
Exactly. You don't have. I'm waiting, and
He's got a
This
point.
is nothing I've ever considered.
He's got a point.
Is there a subreddit for that?
He's got a point though.
Furry
10th
jiu-jitsu and
Planet.
self-defense.
10 Planet furries could happen.
I don't know, dude. But my instructional DVD is coming out. It's called Furry Jiu-Jitsu. Grapplers Union podcast. Code Grapplers Union 10% off. Enter the system. You know?
Enter the furry system.
Yeah,
I did the
dude.
furry. Oh man, that's fun.
There's an interesting subject that could be brought up that doesn't have anything to do with furries, I don't think.
What's that?
That doesn't go on in that blue basement, does it?
Not that I know of.
No, there is the back room that no one's allowed to go into.
Oh, dude, all kinds of freaky shit's got to be going on over there. Dude, furries back there that's the least freaky
What are you guys
shit,
talking
man. That's
about?
tame.
I mean, so Henzo's is the blue basement or the blue
Yes.
dungeon, depending on who you're talking to. There's a sub dungeon.
There is? I didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
it's an attached sub dungeon, very dark,
Is that where they used to hide Eddie Cummings?
possibly.
The Cummings Cave.
The Cummings cave?
It's got a slight flicker of light from the low cathode ray tube monitor.
And his dummy in the middle of the room, just lit from the top.
No legs.
No, there's like a small back office where John is always watching something on a computer, and there's been a lot of theories about what that is.
But the screen faces the door, so you have to go all the or the back is to the door, so you'd have to go all the way in. You need to alt tab over immediately, I'm sure.
Of course. All tab right away.
Like he would, I don't know that, and that's the scary part. You know,
Nobody
I don't
dares
know that
enter.
he would try to hide things, and I wish he would. You know, it's like- I want to be able to deny things in court and shit. You know.
I just want to know, does he write his Instagram post on his phone? Does he write those fucking long things on his fucking actual phone?
Got to get him on the podcast.
Jesus, gotta get
I
him on.
mean, that's easier said than done.
For sure, easier said than done. But that's my number one question. Would you write those on your fucking phone?
I've been given the impression that yes, he writes them on his phone on the subway trip back home or between the school and.
Do you think he does like verbal? Can you verbally talk to Instagram?
I mean,
Can Siri write that for you? I don't even know.
Yeah,
this.
anyone could do that.
Verbal?
Yeah.
Write your Instagram post?
I don't know what your phone does, but there's a little microphone button on mine where
There
you
is,
just
yeah.
press it and it does
Yeah, I never really paid attention.
Do it in any app.
So he could do that. He could
Yeah,
just
of
verbally
course.
do it.
Though
they seem
might be extra
grammatically
creepy.
correct.
Like you're on the subway
Yes.
in New York.
Right.
There's this creepy old bald man in a rash
In a
guard
rash
with a
guard.
fanny pack, talking to Siri. About breaking limbs
Yes.
and high level jiu-jitsu competition.
Right.
Man, that's. I don't know what clears a train in New York, but that might actually do it.
That's one of the single scariest things that I could ever imagine. And I'm learning so much about how to use Siri and stuff on your podcast. I'm really glad I came on. Thank you for having me.
It's educational.
It's truly educational.
I got the hookup for an electrician anytime I'm in Chicago. That's
right.
You know, we agree that New York pizza is the best.
I mean, I apparently do. I didn't know my whole life, but
I've never had it. But I
never had
need
New
to-
York pizza
I've
at all?
Never had it. Never ever.
not even
had it.
some local knockoff.
Not even a local knockoff.
Wow,
It's so sad.
Just haven't lived.
I know. I'm very sad about this.
Yeah, you've also never left the country.
I have not left the country.
Barely left the
Really?
state.
That's
Did
why
you
it
see
was a
that
big
episode
deal.
of It's Always Sunny where Charlie's never left Philadelphia?
No, I have not.
No?
Sorry, was it
But
a great
tell us
episode?
about it.
Oh, they're all great, man, you know, for me.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, but there's just no way to recover from a reference that no one gets. So can we just move on as quickly as possible? And can we get past this moment?
There's people right now listening. They're like, I get that. I understood that reference.
Yes.
But yeah,
I just started
Sad.
watching Sneaky Pete. There's only 3 seasons of it.
What the fuck is
It's
Sneaky
on
Pete?
Amazon. You ever
Is
heard
it
of
I
it?
good?
never heard of it, man.
Yeah.
But honestly, no one's ever given me the selling point of something that there's only X amount of seasons of
There's
it.
only 3 well, the 3rd season just came out apparently. That's why I clicked on it, because you know how they show ads for like new seasons coming
Right.
out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what's Sneaky Pete? The guy.
So what is Sneaky Pete? Since you
he's a
brought it
con
up,
man. It's about a con. He's a con man.
Do they
He was-
sponsor the podcast?
They
or-
don't.
no,
They don't.
no,
I mean,
just
it's
giving away free
Yeah,
free
this is free
advertisements.
advertisement
right?
for Sneaky
Yeah.
Pete.
This guy runs a business too.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's so. I'm only on season 1. I'm only a few episodes in, but it's pretty good. It's a good con. Basically, he's in jail, and the
Are you giving
his
spoilers away here,
No,
or are
not
you
at
setting
all.
up the first episode
His,
here?
First episode. His cellmate is telling him about his home. So when this guy, whose name is not Pete, but that's his cellmate's name, gets out, he goes to visit the family.
Pretends
and
to be him or
pretends to be
something?
the other guy, because they haven't seen that guy in like 20 years, and then starts to run a con. Basically,
All right.
That's it. in a
3
nutshell.
seasons of the long con.
A very long con.
Okay.
It's okay. The acting's pretty good.
Great.
If I have time for it, which
If
I
you have
don't.
time for it. Yeah. If you pull yourself away from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the 3 seasons thing is a total selling point now because
It's quick.
Kind of the problem is if you hear about a show and you're like, it's great, and usually that's the adjective that you're looking for. You know, when you're
then
talking
you
about a
find-
show. But now it's like, if it's short, it's like, here's the thing: if it's great and there's 2 million seasons of it, you're like, fuck, man, I got to watch all this stuff. You know,
Exactly, right.
it's such a huge time investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I can't become attached to such a needy series.
Right.
You know, because I have all this homework that I've just inherited, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not like Lost. Like, fuck Lost.
How many seasons was Lost?
There's
I don't even
a
know.
fuckload of seasons of Lost. And
Yeah, I
then the
avoided
ending
that
was
one.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You watched it?
No, just like maybe two episodes, and it's exactly like it's like what they told me about the addictive drugs in health class. That's like it feels good for a little bit, but
Yeah.
at the end, it's just you want more. You never get fucking
You never get
satisfied, man.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah. As soon as you got to find a way. I mean, someone's got to get in there and just re-edit all of it so that it ends as soon as the question gets answered, but
Right.
not when the next one gets asked.
Right, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
lost for like satisfied people. They'd be doing a
Lost.
real service to like society. There should be a Kickstarter or something for that, man. You guys know an editor?
Yeah. No, I don't.
The electrician guy. Is he also?
That'd be
No?
convenient, but alas, no. I do actually know a couple of guys that do video editing. I don't know that any of them have the kind of time where they would want to edit a season of Lost. That seems pretty intensive. Although I did see sorry, totally random. Somebody edited together. So, you guys ever seen Tron, the movie Tron? And you know there was a sequel to Tron called Tron Legacy, which had a dope soundtrack by Daft Punk.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think I've ever seen the
Yeah.
second one.
Okay,
I only saw the original.
You'd have to trust me. Really super awesome soundtrack, awesome electronic music, and somebody took and edited down the first. I don't remember the name of it. The first Star Trek movie. You know, it was like released in like 1977 or whatever. They edited that down to like a 22-minute runtime using the soundtrack from Tron Legacy, and I started watching. I'm like, oh, this is fucking good. Like the way they've got everything synced up, and yeah, it was really cool. So maybe someone could do something like that. You know, make Lost a little bit more interesting with
Right.
a nice edit that condenses things.
It has a different soundtrack.
I don't know if there's different soundtracks required, but the different soundtrack definitely adds an interesting element to it. Yeah.
Did it ever seem to you like the show was like they would write it episode by episode?
Oh yeah, no.
And they it was like they had different people writing each episodes or something. Like remember the smoke monster? That was like
Yeah, yeah.
episode 1. You're like, oh, this is a show about a smoke monster.
Right.
And then
Right.
it was like, oh fuck, we forgot about the smoke monster. We gotta bring that back in there somehow. Like, you know,
It was so
I mean,
fucking strange.
yeah,
Yeah,
was-
exactly.
They
It's
just
like-
have like a board with a bunch of different like random things on it, and they're just throwing darts at it. You know, and
The show's called Lost. I assume that was like some kind of like your feelings at the end of each every episode.
Oh, it was
You
meta.
took-
It was a meta. It was meta for sure.
commentary right there. Yeah, you didn't know that, but that's
There
the
you go.
truth.
That's the whole point.
Man, I had like 2 super fans of that show in my office, and every time there was a damn episode on, they would just back and forth, all these crazy ass theories about what this meant and that
Yeah.
meant and everything. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm barely keeping up with this thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but yeah. And their disappointment at the end of that show was epic,
Yeah.
and tragic all at once.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Kind of feeling that way about Game of Thrones lately.
Are you?
Oh man, this is a rough season.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why?
The writing's not up to par. There's a lot of bizarre choices that have been made.
I feel like I'm listening to a therapy session right now.
A little bit.
Man,
Me
it
too.
is quite sad that way. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth.
Out of Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe
I now
I'm not
think of
that
you-
deep into it.
I
Maybe I'm
think
not
less
that
of you as a
connected.
person
Wait,
now.
no. You keep going on about Game of Thrones like it's your feelings, like you're in a rut, and then keep listening to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we do that?
For how long?
You're the psychoanalyst. 3 minutes.
And go.
Find a way to tie it back into the furries, man. If you're going to be the
For
psychoanalyst,
sure.
yeah.
For
Oh,
sure.
well, that makes it simpler. Are we just talking furries on that, or can we have like scalies too? Because that's like that opposite end where.
Oh shit, dude! I didn't know you got down like that, man.
You didn't know that I actually knew?
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about now. I'm lost. What the fuck's a scaly?
And we're back to Lost.
What the hell? What you guys throwing out there? Javi.
Damn, dude.
Javi's like,
Is there a lot of money on being getting in on the ground floor of like a new fetish? Have you guys looked into that at all?
I have no
Well,
idea.
I imagine that depends on whether you're the receiving end of it or if you're the perpetrator of said fetish. So, like,
I just mean about being the guy who
the one
provides it.
Here's the thing is we were talking before, like you went to go see Clark Gracie, you went to his seminar, and the way he does an omoplata, it's a real submission.
Yeah,
And
the
everyone
realist.
knows. Here's the thing: everyone knows the omoplata. Everyone, all the white belts learn it. It's a
Right.
basic. It's considered a basic. Everyone knows it. No one can submit anyone with it. We suck at it, or the move sucks. And it's a good sweeper or whatever. But then Clark Gracie, he revolutionizes it. No one cares to really steal his move. That still seems to be pretty uncommon.
Yeah, there's only a couple of guys that I know that are real omoplata specialists.
Yes, you don't even have to be a specialist. You just do an omoplata and you do it the way that he does it instead of doing it the traditional way, which doesn't work as a submission. It's like, and we can look back and be like, Clark is the one who started all this.
Right.
Hoist is the one who made MMA blow up.
Right.
Who's the guy who like started the whole stepsister thing that I keep seeing over the past like 2 years?
I don't
Does
know,
he
but
get
he's-
credited somehow? Is there going to be a documentary on him and what a genius he is? Or
Apparently
what?
not. No. That's actually a great tragedy in our culture that these unsung heroes of porn that have
Heroes of Porn, dude. What a sick name for like a band or something,
podcast.
The new Heroes of Porn podcast.
Yeah, dude.
There you go.
You guys
Quinn, man.
It started here.
There you go.
Dude,
Well,
I
so-
mean, this is supposed to be a Grapplers Union podcast. You basically never talk about jiu-jitsu. Just little touches like that.
That's
Clark
it.
Gracie
Just a
thing.
little bit. That's
You know?
all.
He
Just a
tried
little
to bring it
sprinkle.
back, but then
We go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
It was
the
a
porn
rapid
one we
derail.
can talk about jiu-jitsu.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there are moves in porn that are jiu-jitsu like. Quinn, look at that. Wow. That
I was really
for
wondering
Javi.
where that was going to go.
That was really
I
that's
had
for
no idea
Javi.
what-
That was for Javi.
all right.
back.
All right. Let's hold on.
Yeah, take a water, dude. Let's get this motherfucker.
Dude, grab some beer out of there, man. Everyone's ready to go.
Oi.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So you're teaching guard passing or how not to pass the guard? Is that what's going on here?
Yes, how not to pass the guard.
All right. How to stay in
Stay
guard.
in the guard.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know that
yes.
that's advisable, really. Stack passes got new visuals
Yes.
going to it now.
That's right. I mean, is there naked jiu-jitsu right now? Is anyone doing that?
Oh,
I mean,
that's old, dude.
yeah.
It's old, right?
That's old. Greeks used to do that. Yeah.
The pancreation.
That was the original way to do it. If you want to talk about traditional, it's not with the gi, man.
No.
Yeah.
Can't be with the
Super
gi.
traditional is no gi.
It's worse than no
I think
gi.
it starts with a loincloth and then whatever happens after that, right?
I mean, it's only really jujitsu.
Yeah, like toga?
from-
You mean
I mean,
like it starts with a loincloth and then they're like, let me change into something more comfortable. And then, yeah, pop that loincloth up.
slightly different music, candles,
It's possible.
rose petals.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Because there's certain porn where it's like girls on girls wrestling and
Oh,
they're
yeah,
in like
the-
bikinis.
yeah, yeah.
And then
I
at
wasn't
the
sure
end
where
of the
this is
day,
going, but now I know exactly where it is.
And then at the end of the day, they're like oh, you lost, so now I get to, do
That's
whatever
not all
I want.
girl on girl.
Oh, it's not?
There's a lot of girls torturing guys in submission holds and stuff. Like that's its own weird thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them train at Henzo's. The chicks who do that as a profession. That's like
Is that
their
well
college,
known?
You know?
That's their college.
Yeah.
I can see it, for sure.
That's a real asset to them.
It could be.
The fucked up part is we laugh at that, but actually they're using jiu-jitsu in their normal lives probably way more than 99% of people, man. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Where the only jiu-jitsu you do is, that hour or two at the academy. And they're like, no, I got to get my reps in here so that, because I've got 8 hours at the office later on. I'm going to be torturing some fool while oiled up and in a bikini.
Yeah. That's real.
That is real. Yeah.
Exactly. It's
And as more jiu-jitsu is known through the popularity of the UFC and
our podcast,
Flow Grappling,
right.
of course, bringing jiu-jitsu to the world at large for only $35.99 a month or whatever the fuck it is these days. Jiu-jitsu is really blowing up, so they can't get away with like chintzy pro wrestling sleeper holds. Like they need to know how to kill a man with a rear naked choke for people to not have to suspend their disbelief so much, I imagine.
So you think that there should be like a spin-off of Flow, maybe like Naked Flow or Flow Naked, or
you're the entrepreneur
should
here,
grappling
sir.
have its own like own Pornhub?
No, probably not.
you're crazy just coming out and saying this on the podcast. Someone's going to take this idea.
I mean,
by
all means.
Bruno, take that out. Take that out. Not because we're ashamed of it, not at all. Just because we don't want people stealing it from Zito.
I'm just spitballing here. I mean, it could happen.
I don't. With the way folks, myself included, complain about the current trends in certain aspects of grappling and jiu-jitsu, I can't imagine that one would go over well with the traditionalists.
Yeah,
Probably
but
not.
dude, would you rather watch two dudes scissor fuck each other in 50-50 playing for advantages, or watch two chicks do it and I don't know, there's something on the line?
Yeah.
You
I
make
go
a
with the
strong
latter.
point.
Yeah, for sure.
I cannot refute your argument.
Bobby's still getting the visual out of his mind. He's like,
The fucked up part is the two chicks with using like an iPhone to record it are making way more money than the two guys at the IBJJF tournament.
For sure.
yeah. That's for
And
sure.
they're not even. I watched their technique, dude. They're not good.
The girls.
They're not very good.
No.
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. We need to elevate that aspect of the sport, clearly.
Yeah, it needs to change.
What just more technique, right? They just
More
gotta get
technique. The
better
answer
at
is always more technique, right?
More reps.
More reps.
More reps. Gotta get those reps in. Can't just roll all the time. Gotta come to a fundamentals class.
Fundamentals Fight Club, baby.
Fundamentals Fight Club.
Check it out.
I see how this all. This is how the recruiting begins.
This is how it begins. This is what I do.
That.
We've gone
what I
from
do.
casting couch to coach's bench.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna get so many weird people at the academy. You got to cut out the name of my academy. In the end,
That's the request. Like, no, it's okay that you leave all the weird shit. Just don't tell them where to find me.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Man, this podcast.
And remove your Instagram
This
handle.
podcast went off
here,
the
man.
fucking rails.
Yeah, you're gonna have the weirdest. What's the weirdest hashtag you've ever put related to the podcast?
We don't. I don't know, but there has been some weird ones in the past. I'd have to think about that, but
Well, I mean, in our defenses, we're all probably kind of a little tired, and it is pretty late in the evening. So
is late.
that may be a contributing factor.
there's a UFC on tonight. I was going to throw it on.
It's probably fantastic, and we're missing every
It's
bit
Anderson Silva. It's in Brazil.
of it. Bellator's
There's
going
Bellator
on
as well. Yeah.
Oh, Bellator is on
right
tonight?
here in Chicago.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. Oh, that's right. That's Michael Venom Page versus Lima, right? Ooh, that's a good one.
So yeah, we missed all of that.
Do you think Michael Venom Page will? Yeah.
It was worth it. We get to know how everyone feels about Lost.
Yeah, and about furries.
Yeah, no. At some point later in the evening or tomorrow, I'll browse through my Facebook and like, oh, congratulations, or oh, I'm so sorry, to all my local fighter friends who, I
Who's fighting? Who do you got?
I mean, Joey Deal's fighting.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hopefully he didn't get cut on the prelims. Like remember that happened to his last Bellator fight. He had that amazing fight with that beautiful submission, and there's like no video footage of it anywhere.
Right.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
On a fucking Bellator card of all
That's
things,
fucked
too.
up,
That's
right?
crazy. We've got like all of his XFO fights and all that other stuff, and this is like a huge big deal, and nobody recorded it. I mean, there's probably somebody in the audience who recorded it, but I know I myself, I was like, yeah, no, just watch the replay later on.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you'd think that Bellator would have like a professional recording of the whole event.
I don't know. Maybe they're having technical difficulties at that point. Or maybe they're like, no, we're doing pro wrestling dark matches.
Yeah. Is IBJJF the only tournament that does recordings? Like,
well, they don't
New
do
Breed doesn't do recordings. Naga, no one else records.
I think Grappling Industries does.
They record.
Yeah, I think they
individual
have like
matches.
all the mats or something get uploaded, or they used to at least.
I know they do it for the pro fights.
They wouldn't. I don't think they put like they're not going to put your name on there, but they'll put like 8 hours worth of Mat 2 footage or something.
Okay,
and
you just log into Mat 2 and see it.
I want to say they used to put it up on like YouTube or something. They would just put like a 10-hour long video of Mat 3 or whatever it is.
But I mean, even the IBJJF doesn't do that for every event.
Not
like, they
the
do
local
it for,
events.
Yeah, they do it for the
the
big ones.
For the
like
big ones,
the
yeah.
World Championships and things
right.
like that. Which was a shocker to me the first time I went to the Chicago Open, and I'm like, oh yeah, everything else I've been to has been recorded, so of course this is gonna be recorded.
Yeah,
and they're like, no, actually, I'm like, damn it.
Right.
So yeah, because
But it'd
I
be
did
nice.
things
I mean,
backwards.
that'd be an added benefit for even the smaller tournaments. You know, to
Sounds
do
like
that.
it's gonna just add some costs
for
some
sure
yeah,
add
like-
cost. But you know, nowadays, man, people want a lot of shit for a little money. I mean, just the trend and everything is just like, oh, you're not giving me that. You're not giving me a free T-shirt. You're not giving me this. You're not. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
How much do I got to give you? Just give me $50, please. That's it. It's not that bad.
I don't know. I mean, most of the guys that that want their matches recorded and seem aware that that nobody's going to do that for you. They almost always are like, "Hey, can you hold the camera for me?" Or some guys put the GoPro on the table or whatnot,
that too, yeah.
which is fantastic until somebody runs into the table.
Yeah, but then the problem with that is, I don't know. At least for me, like I looked up my own name and YouTube and maybe Flow not too long ago, which you should never do.
Oh,
By the way,
Okay.
And I looked it up. It was like I've maybe lost, like I want to say like 10 times, like ever, maybe. Like
And
12.
9 of those are on
and
Flow
I think
Grappling.
I've had like over 100 matches.
Right.
Yeah, and like every loss is on there. Like even in a tournament, I did an IBJJF tournament. And I think I won like 2 or 3, and then I lost 1. And what's the one that's on Flow Grappling? The one fucking match. I guess because it was for like a medal or something.
right. It was the
You
finals
know?
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
So, and it's like multiple tournaments like that too.
Right.
Where it's like, I did one that was a 4-man, and like the first match I won, second match I lost, first match, can't find it, second match, everywhere, Terrible.
Man.
Maybe you just lost to the right guy. That guy's.
Yeah, you
really-
got to pick and choose who you lose to.
Yeah, that's
You
just,
know?
that's just it. Like everyone who lost to like Gordon Ryan coming up, like those guys are, like their matches can't be found where they're winning shit, but you can definitely find all the ones where they get their ass kicked by Gordon.
Yeah. How's Gordon doing these days?
Why are you looking at me?
Is he still recovering?
Do I have secret insight?
Maybe you do. I don't know. Have you seem to know a lot about Gordon Ryan?
I just have Instagram, which you don't.
I don't.
That's funny because, training with him and stuff. And then, I follow him on Instagram. So people's idea of him comes from Instagram. And I don't, it looks totally different to me. Him and Gary and like all those guys, like maybe Gary.
I was going to say
like, kind
Gary
of,
seems pretty close to pretty close to real life.
but like Gordon's pretty quiet,
Right,
And he's
yeah.
not like a mean guy or like an asshole. I never got that idea from him. Every time I've ever asked him for something, he's always, kind of, hey, like this person's getting me with this. How do I do that? He'll show me like immediately and really well.
Yeah, annoyingly well.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really heard him like talk shit about anybody. If anything, it would be maybe I asked him like about a match with someone. You might get a match with this guy, and he'll just talk about it like confidently. He won't be like, this guy's a fucking asshole and he's a scumbag and I'm just going to murder him.
Right.
It's more about him being confident in himself rather than the other person being.
He comes off
Terrible.
on Instagram like he comes off confident, but almost in like a douchey way.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I mean?
get that.
I wouldn't say
People
almost.
tell me that.
Yeah. Like,
I see past it. I get it, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, they don't really get it, and they look at him like, I think he's amazing, like
Yeah.
athlete, and I see past the the charade, But yeah, a lot of people, they get hung up on that.
But
image.
also, where's the accountability for it? Do you know what I mean? Like, does that hurt him anyway? In fact, if anything, we talk about how much we don't like this kind of shit, the jiu-jitsu community, because
we keep talking about it.
We're supposed to have some kind of like moral values or something from martial arts, and yet, in the community, AJ and Dylan are like two of the biggest stars, and are they two of the best competitors?
Definitely not.
No. I'll do a match with both of them, by the way. You know?
See if we can set that up.
Yeah, dude.
You ever been on Fight to Win?
Yeah, once. But it only came to New York once.
Okay.
And that's when I went on it. They came to Jersey and then they canceled their event. So
because they seem to be pulling a lot of big names now at Fight to Win for just like in Chicago, we didn't have any high level on the the top 3 names on the card, or the top 2 rather, were not from Chicago. Like the main event,
the last 4 black belts, or no wait,
last 3 black belts were not from Chicago.
Yeah, out of the last 3 matches on the last Fight to Win, 5 of the black belts involved were not local black belts.
Right? So they're pulling people. They're flying people out for events. So that'd be nice to. I mean, well, AJ's a lot smaller than you though, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he would still like to kill him on live television.
I like to see it too. I'm not just like
too.
talking, you know?
Yeah. But Dylan, you'd be perfect with Dylan.
Perfect.
Yeah. That'd be a good fight.
Get that Marcelo Henzo beef going too. That'd be.
But Dylan's not.
He doesn't train at Marcelo's.
He used to though.
Yeah, he used to.
Yeah, Marcelo kicked him to the curb a while back, but yeah, it's still a way to promote a fight, right? All that drama? No.
Yeah, I guess.
You'd leave that to him.
But I mean, it's not with Marcelo's. There really isn't much. There was never any beef with Marcelo's. I don't think.
How could you have a beef with Marcelo Garcia? Like, that guy's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Who could ever?
Can confirm. One of the nicer guys out there.
I mean, what the fuck? That guy is like. I've never met the guy, but I could just.
He's very smiley.
Very seems like the guy you want to hang out with for sure. You know. Henzo also.
Yeah, right up your guy's alleys. Probably doesn't drink. You know,
right.
Marcelo.
Yeah.
Probably never talks about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He's all into furries.
Looks like a teddy bear, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, Marcel, what furry would you be?
For God's sakes.
Well, he might
That's
answer
so
that.
long to
Never
think
know.
about your answers. This is like
I don't know
Final
that-
Jeopardy, but you get half an hour to fill the thing in, you know?
Exactly.
Right. Only I'm never going to dignify this with an actual response.
I think you will. I think you're thinking about it.
I think we should take
throw
a
us like a curveball or
I think we should
something.
take a poll.
Yeah, there's a curveball.
Yeah, it's good for your Instagram story.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what kind of furry am I? You give them a couple options.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Make it a write-in campaign. See which
Yeah.
one gets the most votes. Go ahead, Zito. Make that happen on Instagram.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're
I have
doing.
no idea what. I have no idea.
It's like,
so far
what's
gone.
a story?
Yeah, I don't do that. So, yeah, I know. I'm just not into it. I'm not into it. Can't do it.
Yeah,
weird.
don't start, man.
Yeah.
It's the lost of social media. You know?
Yes.
You got a pretty good meme game, though. I've enjoyed your occasional memes.
That's that's kind of the fucked up part though, because no one really cares about my grappling. They're like, yeah, you're funny. You know? I'll be like, here's a 6 submission I hit in competition last week. They're like, cool.
Yeah, bring on the memes.
or what?
We coming for the memes.
It's rough, man. Yeah, you got to think. I mean, you see a lot of like chicks on there, and they have fat ass or something. So they have a trillion followers,
Right.
And it'll be like a picture with their fat ass out, and it's like 1 trillion likes, and then a picture of them like doing something that kind of demonstrates they have some personality, like 8 likes. No comment. Like, what does it have to do with your view of yourself? You know,
Right.
It's like, I'm not interesting, and I'm only as good as how my body looks.
Well, how
you know?
many views do you have to get to then change your Instagram persona or title to public figure? Like,
Oh, man, I don't know.
How
A
many
lot.
how many followers you have to get to be like, oh, now I'm a public figure?
Right. You're an
I'm like,
influencer.
What? Influencer is another one. Yeah,
Ooh.
public figure then goes to influencer. So as you start out, you're like, okay, I'm a public figure. Man, I just want to get to that influencer. What's that level? It's so fucked up.
I don't know.
It's so bizarre.
Don't you just get to choose it yourself?
I don't know. Do you? I think once you
Yeah.
get that little blue check mark, then you're like an influencer.
Yeah, that's a verified profile
yeah,
or
then
whatever.
you're like influencer. But other than that, you're just like a public figure. Public figure's a low man on totem pole.
Oof.
That feels.
That's some more like a
feels
private
harsh.
figure. Yeah. Local figure.
I'm just a local figure,
Famous in Sheboygan.
right? Oh man, that's fucked up. What are you teaching tomorrow?
Rolling back attacks.
Okay.
You look
Rolling back
confused.
effect. I was
Lower body approach to attacking the back.
okay from
All over the place.
all over.
In jiu-jitsu. With no gi on.
No,
Oh yeah, dude.
dude, I fucked up my back the other day. It's so fucking weird. We were doing. It's so bizarre. Like just bizarre.
Does it relate to jiu-jitsu?
It does relate
Okay.
to jiu-jitsu.
So thought we were getting back to the previous conversation.
We were doing this technique, and it's in the gi. So basically, you're got a De La Riva hook in, right?
He's demonstrating.
Yeah, he's demonstrating in the air.
Demonstrate, right? So
You
the
play
guy-
De La Riva hook with your right leg.
Yes.
Left leg is the De La
Left
Riva.
leg, De La Riva. This leg's on the hip. Okay. So the person's grabbing the pant, right? And they grab the lapel.
Sure.
So here I grab, kick to break the grip, right?
I'm following you so far. The rest of our viewing audience may not, have the.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah,
He's wearing the Vivo Barefoot high tops, by the way.
dope.
Vivo Barefoot, if you sponsor people, check out at Pizza Jitsu. I have like 10,000 followers. Send me some kicks because I've been clearing my bank account out buying your shoes.
Aren't they the best shoes though? They're the fucking best shoes.
Yeah.
Javi,
It's
get
strange
on
to me
board.
that you guys have bonded over
Vivo
these
Barefoot.
shoes.
I'm a public figure, man. Give me some fucking shoes.
That's right.
the low man on the totem pole is asking for shoes. The man at the top of the totem pole don't need shoes.
I need shoes to climb, baby. Hit me up.
So anyway, I was then getting the technique done on me. Basically, ends up where the person takes your back. Well, the person I was repping with put the hooks in, and then
Stretch
normally
it out, or?
normally you just kind of like roll the guy over to the side and take the back. Well, this person took my back and like threw me on top of them where they landed flat on their back. I know.
Okay.
And I landed on the knot of the belt
Oh, geez.
on my like.
You like trigger pointed your back with
Yeah.
a friggin'
Is that
belt
part
knot?
of the move?
No, it wasn't.
Well, it is now.
It is.
It's very effective,
It's
apparently.
very effective. So then I'm like, oh, that was uncomfortable. So then I'm like, well, maybe it was just a one-off. Then they did it two more times to me. I'm
No.
like, the same spot. I'm like, what? Can you move your belt? Because you just fucked up my. And then afterwards, I couldn't roll. I was rolling with one of our younger students, like a 14-year-old, and I couldn't get this kid off me. I'm like, okay, my back's fucked up. I gotta stop rolling because I
From a
could not.
belt knot.
From a belt knot.
It's not even. It
wasn't even a super knot. I don't
I was
know.
just going to say, how are they tying this
It was
belt?
not the super
It's so
knot, but-
devastating.
And so I had one of our guys, Dave. He was working on me, and I called it the QL muscle in the back. I don't know, whatever. So, and I couldn't go rolling today. I couldn't do shit. I'm all
I mean,
fucked
Dave
up.
does good work.
Dave does great
yeah,
work.
He did work on all the fighters at the
I got his
last fight.
t-shirt
to
right
win.
here. See his t-shirt?
Yeah, there
That's
it
his,
is.
I can't
yeah.
pronounce it, but that's his t-shirt. It's some kind of. It's a.
You could have asked him before bringing that up.
So this is from. Yeah,
Orca.
yeah, that's it.
let's go with
orchestra?
that.
It's a town.
Stretch.
It's a town in Brazil. Or that's what that. Orca,
Oh, okay.
Orca.
Is that bear or something? What does that mean?
I don't know what it means.
This
Is
is
it
a
Nate? Is it
terrible
bear?
segue into.
It's
Orca?
horrible.
Yeah.
Is it
Orca.
Portuguese for orca?
It's a.
You know who knows this? The internet knows
It
this,
does?
and Dave, of course, who
The
when he hears
t-shirt's,
this,
t-shirt's a nice material.
Isn't it?
it's got a Chicago flag on it.
It does.
It's got
I think it's
a.
100% cotton.
It's got some dude playing guard against some guy who's standing, which is the C. So
Yes.
relates to the technique that you were just discussing. He's probably going to tap that guy out with his belt.
Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't even fucking roll today. I couldn't even roll, man. It was so fucking upsetting. It's bizarre. Don't get old, man. It sucks.
Try not to.
Yeah.
It keeps happening a little bit every day, though.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Every day to you, huh?
I mean, it's better than the
consistently.
alternative, right?
Bizarre. So bizarre.
Benjamin Button disease?
Okay, the realistic alternative where if you stop aging, it's because you've passed on, not because you're.
But don't you still
aged
age?
in the opposite?
I think you still.
No,
age.
that's called decomposing.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's a different experience entirely.
Is it? I've never
Yes.
experienced it.
Well, no one at this table has, I imagine. unless one of you is a vampire.
No.
Okay, that was
Do vampires decompose?
I don't know.
I thought they didn't if they drink blood.
Yeah, I think they just stay white, like very, very
Quack.
white.
Do you think vampires are racist?
No, there are black
they're
vampires.
usually
Look at
No, Blade.
Look at Blade. Yeah, there we go.
He's half vampire, though.
He's still half.
That is true. That is true. But there have been
Wasn't there
other.
a Blackula?
Yes, there was.
That was like a thing.
Combining the greatness of the vampire film with blaxploitation.
And wasn't
Yeah.
what's his name? That comedian, a vampire? Wasn't like Vampire in Brooklyn or something like that? Do you remember that?
Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy. Do you
I
remember
don't.
that?
I've
That
actually I have
comedian.
no idea what you're talking about.
Vampire-
but if you're talking to talk about one black comedian that was a vampire, it has to be
Eddie Murphy, right? The best. Chris Rock was in there. Do you remember that Vampire in Brooklyn?
I honestly
It's
don't think
fucking great.
I don't recall it.
Great movie. It was fucking hilarious. Yeah,
I
Chris
remember
Rock.
Selma Hayek as a vampire.
Oh yeah, Dust to Dawn.
I'm just saying because they're from like they always seem to be from the 1500s.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened in the 1500s where they started
the plague.
becoming.
Was that the
vampires.
1500s or like the 1300s?
History buffs right now going
I think
crazy
it was
on us.
15th century.
What'd you say?
I said the history buffs right now, like they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
Yeah.
this is my one
They
time.
wiped out 1/3 of Europe.
Right, it's kind of a
Believe
bad
that?
thing.
Brutal. Yeah, you don't wanna
Depends
be
on how
around
you feel
back then.
about Europeans.
I suppose it does. But
They would try anything. So maybe there are vampires. They're like, fuck, I got to figure out a way to, not get the fucking plague.
Yeah, but drinking blood is the last thing you want to do.
You would
That can't
think.
be. It can't be from the plague.
No. I don't know.
What's the story? That vampires that they became something.
Well, Vlad the Impaler, right? That was where it came from.
well, that's where Dracula. That's where
Dracula, right?
Yeah, well, that's where the story of Dracula was based around him.
Right.
He was just a really fucked up dude.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Did he drink blood though? I don't think so.
I'm not the expert here. I don't
Yeah.
have to
Quinn?
Google
but
that
you
one.
know, the thing is, so many people impaled back then.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's not even like everyone was impaling back then.
Were they?
Like, dude, look at Genghis Khan. He was impaling the shit out of
Oh,
people,
yeah.
you know? And
Was
he
he?
wasn't even alive that long. He's the opposite of a vampire.
Wait, he wasn't alive long? Didn't he father like half the world?
Very busy man.
Oh yeah, but he got shit done, dude. He should have, if only he released a book on like productivity or something.
Right?
You know? Yeah.
He knew how to do it, right?
yeah.
Conquer, father. Fuck, man. He did it all. Gangster. In a bad way though. Not
Yeah,
a
it's
good
funny
way.
Yeah,
how
depending on-
if you take someone who's just like a fascist, you know what I mean, and you just add the variable of time, you start to respect them as a society.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that like weird? Like Genghis
Like,
Khan.
we're like,
should
Genghis Khan
be
did
looking
great things.
Yeah, dude, he like leveled cities and stuff and
Yeah.
like killed everyone. We're like,
Everybody.
wow, man. Good stuff. Genghis Khan conquered half the world. It's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And then you look back at like I don't know, Alexander the Great or something.
Right.
You know, and then, but dude, it's going to be weird in 200 years when people are like, oh, Hitler, that was an interesting time. Like, what are they going to think about him then? You know?
I think it's going to take a little bit more than just 200 years.
200 years?
Yeah, I think. I don't know what the cutoff point where it's far enough away where we start excusing the atrocity aspect of it a
Because we're
bit.
still too soon, right?
Yeah,
Way
definitely
too
still
soon.
too soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess got people still alive from it.
Right.
But yeah, like that's an interesting point of view. I've not actually seriously considered that. Like, obviously, no one from Genghis Khan's days is alive. But how long did it take before people were like learning about it in history books and going, "Oh man, that guy got shit done."
Right. Well, remember
As opposed-
they would remember Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Okay, sure.
Do you remember like they brought Genghis Khan onto the the telephone booth to bring him onto the stage to talk about or whatever, to have him there as one of like the past like greatest like
I don't think Bill and
conquerors.
Ted is
I'm just
They
saying
brought Genghis Khan on?
Bring Genghis Khan, yeah.
Dude,
They definitely had
they
no-
did like a TED talk with
They definitely had Napoleon. I
Bill and
remember.
Ted Talk.
I remember Napoleon's part.
Napoleon, right?
Yeah.
So they brought, no one's doing that with like Hitler for sure. It's way too fucking soon.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that would
Way too
make
fucking.
that
That'd be
would
bizarre,
take that movie
But
in
then-
a wildly different direction.
right? But then they were able to do it with other.
Yeah.
You know.
Egypt had like slaves. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've been on an Egypt kick for the
Spartas.
past like fucking couple weeks. I've been
What?
going down to YouTube, like
Oh, dear God.
going crazy about pyramids lately. It's fucking blowing my mind, dude.
Like the stuff you
Blowing
didn't know, or
my
are you
mind.
going deep into like conspiracy territory
I'm
here?
trying to stay away from them because I'm trying to stick to the facts. But there's some stuff about the pyramids that I didn't know existed, and about Egypt that I didn't realize that was like, oh fuck, and how it correlates with like Easter Island and all this other crazy
Wait,
stuff.
what?
Yeah, dude. It's like
Where are you
how
going with
things-
this?
Are you just talking
Are
like
watching
monolithic
Graham
structure,
Hancock
or-
videos? Is that
I
what
am
you're
watching a lot of Graham Hancock.
Okay,
I'm not gonna
okay.
lie. I watched a few of them, but then YouTube then recommends like other videos,
And
they're
you
like,
just keep clicking.
you just keep going, and,
clicking.
and it's like
Yeah,
4 in
you
the
go-
morning. And you're like, "Fuck, am I doing? I need to get up in 2 hours." Yeah,
Right, and now
I went down that.
Now
hole.
you have a very questionable education on the nature
very, very
of Egyptology.
questionable. But it's fascinating because I didn't know that there was no tomb found inside the Great Pyramid. I didn't know that wasn't. I didn't know there was no hieroglyphs found inside the tomb. Like in the Valley of the Kings, there's all these tombs and there's hieroglyphs, but inside the actual
The Great Pyramid.
Great Pyramid of Giza,
the big one.
the big one, there's nothing in there.
Don't they usually rob them?
Yes.
True,
for
but they
years and
they
years
haven't
and
even
years.
found any evidence of anything. There's huge sarcophaguses in there, or like these huge boxes rather, but the boxes are so gigantic that it doesn't make sense that you would put something so small as a human inside this box.
Mm-hmm.
So they think that it's actually used more as like a power plant type situation where you can.
What?
Yeah, it gets crazy, dude. So they
Yeah,
think
this is definitely this is verging on crazy.
but if you watch the videos I watch, it's
Which
kinda
I'm not gonna do.
fascinating. I think you should.
Yeah.
So what they think
Pass me
they
some of
think-
that shit.
So this goes into even Tesla. Okay. So
What?
It gets into Tesla.
The Tesla or like the car that
Tesla,
we're driving around.
like the guy who invented. Not. This is back.
Or did he-
Nikolai
Nikolai
Tesla.
Tesla. Right.
He invented leverage, right?
No. He
Oh,
invented-
Halo
no,
Gracie.
no.
Everyone knows that. Come on.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
So Nikolai Tesla invented. He says he invented a way to produce electricity with
Wireless electricity.
Wires, exactly.
Yeah.
And so they
The coil.
think that the Great Pyramid was utilized to produce this type
Who
of
they?
electricity. People like Graham Hancock. People like what's wrong with Graham Hancock? He's
just-
fascinating.
Well,
character.
he,
Is there something
had
bad
me,
I should
he
know?
had me with so much stuff,
Yeah.
and then
Then
I
what
listened to
where'd
his
he
most
lose you?
recent one on the JRE.
Yeah.
And he was like, he kind of like presented some evidence. You need a lot of evidence to really prove something, but he presented enough to make it interesting for
Yeah.
a lot of his theories.
Right.
Right.
Where did he lose you?
Telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
I was
can
like,
see that.
what the fuck are you talking about? Where this didn't follow the model that the rest of
Yeah, I'm not
know?
on board with that. But what I can get on board with is that wireless electricity, because that does make a little bit of sense, because they haven't found any kind of, like, if they were using wood fire, right, there
Yeah.
would be soot all over that pyramid because you have to
Why?
go inside. Well, because it would create soot inside
What
the
if
tombs.
what if they got a bottle of fireflies?
Really?
No, I'm just like
In the desert?
you wait, hold on.
All right, so listen to me. The
Well,
guy's
first of all-
like telekinetic powers and wireless electricity, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm listening. And then Javier's
Fireflies.
like, bottle of fireflies, and you're like, really? Are you kidding me? Bottle of fireflies actually exist. That's confirmed.
I understand firefly, but I've never been illuminated like where you can
You've also
work
never
with-
experienced wireless fucking electricity.
I have experienced wireless data transfer.
Wi-Fi and wireless electricity are not the same thing.
But the fact that we
Also-
can all be in this room, be connected to a wireless, I can send you data, that is crazy. Think about that. Just, I'm in technology. So for me, it's like, what the
You're
fuck?
not convincing anyone right now that you're in technology.
But it's fascinating because we can look at Wi-Fi, and everyone's so used to Wi-Fi. Okay, I connect there. I can send you this picture. I can send this video. It's all done wirelessly. Why would wireless electricity be so far-fetched?
Well, we'll get the electrician on to explain that to you.
Yeah.
When he's back in town and done with his honeymoon. But above and beyond that, like
Why couldn't you have a, let's say the Great Pyramid, right?
Okay.
It's
It's
an electromagnetic.
bajillion
It creates an electromagnetic field, and that electromagnetic field can feed in another part of a they were saying about obelisks, so it would feed the obelisk over there, and that would transfer
let's
another
stop right there.
electromagnetic
Hold on,
field,
hold on,
and then
hold
you
on.
have these little like
Stop.
batteries. Yeah,
hold the front door.
go ahead.
Okay.
You ever watch Stargate SG-1?
No,
Yes.
That was pretty sick when that was on.
So let's ignore for just a moment. That was a pretty cool show. I like the original movie too, but let's just ignore for the second all the maybes and what ifs and conspiracy shit for a second.
yeah.
Just so I know, before we go any further with this conversation, let's say I believe you that they have wireless electricity.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down with it. What are they doing with their wireless electricity? Do they have light bulbs and iPhones?
No, I think they can utilize it to to be able to
Do they have Instagram or not?
Are you about to suggest electromagnetic levitation of
that's
stone
what-
blocks because of wireless electricity?
That's what I'm trying
And
to
we're
say.
done, folks.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that it's possible.
No, you've spent. I'm going to say you've spent too much time
I'm
on
too
the
deep.
internet.
I'm too deep.
Yeah.
I went
Not
too
enough
deep.
sleep.
Yeah.
You went down the YouTube rabbit hole.
did. I went deep.
You're going to be flat earthing me in like
Yeah,
10
but-
minutes here.
I went way deep, man.
It's kind of like a catch-22 though, because in order to, because the Great Pyramid has the giant columns in it, right? That are like whatever amount of tons. What is it,
yeah.
7
Where they're-
tons?
Yeah, it's
the
crazy.
monstrously
Right,
huge.
yeah.
So the Great Pyramid is there to generate this kind of electricity or whatever. But
That's
in
what they
order to
say.
make it, you need that electricity.
Yeah, right.
So it's just like, oh, we get to make more fucking power plants. It seems a little.
No. Listen, man. The
Yeah.
aliens clearly made the pyramids, and then
That's way more to me. I'm more into the
Then they
aliens.
made the wireless telekinetic electricity.
Well, how I got down this rabbit was because I was looking at how they made the pyramid. And this one,
Listen, you stick to the Hoffa Mendez videos.
yeah, right.
All right, listen. So how come this is the thing that gets me about the ancient aliens is how come the aliens fuck so heavy with like all the ancient civilizations
And we haven't seen
but,
them in a
like,
couple
they
of years.
don't want to hang out with us now. What did we do?
I know, right?
You know, because
if it
apparently
wa-
they're painting it on the walls and stuff.
What if it was something we did?
Yeah, exactly. What do we do to piss them off?
I don't know.
And then if they don't fuck with us heavy anymore, isn't it just irrelevant?
This is probably the most wildly off the tracks that this podcast has ever gone for the
He
record.
does have a good point.
How did they
Why?
do the omoplata? That's what I want to know.
Do they even have shoulder joints? Like, does it matter? What if they just have noodly appendages and therefore
Only
arm
strangles.
submissions don't work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can't even strangle them. I mean, well,
Come on, dude. It's just now you're getting unrealistic. You could definitely strangle an alien.
I think so.
are we talking about a gray or, like
think
can you
it-
strangle the predator? Probably. Can you strangle like the xenomorphs, some aliens? I think not.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, but if you had to go hand to hand with the predator, how would you take him?
I mean,
Arm drag for sure.
I feel
Drag
like
him?
I feel like
drag?
pretty much any physical technique you're going to try is going to fail dramatically.
I leg lock him.
You would so fucking not.
I would
Why?
definitely like that.
Because you're like as tall as his fucking knee.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Dude, they're not that
Dude,
tall.
The predators
Dude.
are fucking huge now. They're making
Oh,
them,
really?
They're making them increasingly bigger with every
All right,
fucking
I'm saying
season.
regular.
Imanari-
Arnold
sorry,
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger era?
Imanari roll to heel hook.
You think that's
all day predator?
Okay, so-
never gonna see it coming.
predator?
Because
No,
you're
but
gonna be
you
all
won't see them coming because they're all
They're
blurry.
invisible.
Dude, you're
Yeah.
gonna be all in like black, like mud, so they're not gonna see your infrared, right? And you're gonna be on the
Yeah,
ground. Imanari roll. He's not gonna. He's like, what the fuck? He's gonna fall down. Boom.
Right.
Break the fucking leg.
And at that moment where normal people would tap out, he just ejects 3-foot long blades.
No, this is just
and
hand to hand. No,
Blaze,
dude.
he's not Wolverine, bro.
We're not talking Krav Maga against the predator, dude. This is jujitsu.
Oh,
it's
I'm
hand to
sorry.
hand.
Wait, is this honorable hand to hand?
It's honorable with the predator, bro.
Pride rules.
So semi-honorable. Okay, so wait. Let's
He might be a
rewind this
little
here.
juiced up.
What,
He might be a
what
little
degree?
juiced up.
Yeah, dude.
What
They don't
degree of
test, man? They don't test in space. The athletic commission's off the chain.
What degree of tact does the predator have? I need to know this. This is important because he can't become
Yeah.
invisible if he doesn't have his tack. That's not like his natural racial ability there. That's
is
he's
that
got a
right?
cloaking device, dude. Yeah, that's why it shorts out.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you really ruined the predator for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Predator's no longer cool.
He does have thermal vision. It's not very focused. That's why he has the helmet on. Like that's
Yeah.
the whole premise of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
scene. But he's still freak fucking strong and could bite your head off, I presume.
That's why you gotta take his leg.
Okay,
You
so-
can't go for the rear naked choke. He's fucking gonna
You
bite your arm.
Bite your arm, yeah.
Gotta take the leg.
Yeah, dude, that Wagner Hosha seminar, man, is not going to help you because
Ooh, the muffler on the predators is a terrible idea.
You're
Oh,
fucked.
where have your fingers been?
Right.
Yeah.
But even worse on a xenomorph, you go to cover that
like that.
right through the hand.
Yeah, leg lock for sure. That's the way. Now, alien though,
That
you're,
is so-
you're all sorts of fuck with alien.
Oh,
You can't
there's
even do
no hand to
anything.
hand against an alien.
Acid blood, got
You're
a
fucked.
blade on their tail,
Yeah.
claws.
You're fucked.
2 mouths because one
do
wasn't
nothing.
enough.
Can't do nothing with that one. Yeah, you just gotta run.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think you can rear naked
And
choke
they're
it
super
either.
fast too.
They are
They are
quite
fast.
quick. Yeah.
Is it water? Water fucks them up.
No. Unless
No, water
space.
did.
Didn't
Fire.
Space.
Well, yes.
fire.
Yeah, they didn't like fire. They don't like being shot with high caliber bullets.
Yeah, that too.
And yeah, they've killed a bunch of them. Depending on which one. But
I think I'm finally willing to admit that jiu-jitsu is an incomplete system.
because of our lack of a solution to.
Yeah.
If the aliens come, we're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
We can't
Which
do
is
shit.
so crazy because they're actually making a movie about jujitsu being used to defend the Earth from aliens.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They totally are.
Where'd you hear this from?
It's a comic book that they're adapting
It's
into a
comic.
movie.
What's the comic book called?
I think the comic book is just called Jiu-Jitsu for the record.
And there's aliens. Oh, we talked about this before.
Yeah, we mentioned.
Oh,
yeah.
You
Like
mentioned
What
it.
kind of aliens are you talking about?
I haven't actually read the comic book, so I
What?
Are
What
they
have you been doing
Latinos?
with your life, Javi?
Are we defending ourselves from the Latinos?
it could be just a metaphor,
Yeah.
but the fact that we're using South American ground karate to defend ourselves from Latino invaders, I don't know. It seems questionable.
Gotta fight fire with fire, baby.
Oh man.
Hold on. I'm gonna try to Google this one just so you guys don't think I'm bullshitting you. There's the cover of issue 1 right there.
What in the fuck?
Wow, I was so much more ready to accept some of these insane theories about Egypt.
Than you are about us beating aliens with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, dude. It really is just called jiu-jitsu too.
Yeah, and like I said, I believe that
I feel like you need to add a little bit more to that to
Don't
explain
they?
exactly
Really?
what's going on in this comic.
That's very
Let me
misleading.
back this up and pull up the full-on Wikipedia article here.
So bizarre.
Yeah, so no joke at all. March 22nd, BJJ World posts Nicolas Cage set to star in comic book based
And
jiu-jitsu
Nicolas Cage
movie.
is going to be the.
What?
Oh, dude, you
That's
gotta
a
be
disappointment.
kidding
I
me,
killed
dude.
all of them, didn't I?
Isn't he the guy with when he was like a dragon? Or no, he was on a motorcycle and became a skull face. What was
Oh,
that called?
that's Ghost Rider,
Ghost
bro.
Rider. Horrible.
Damn.
So bad.
Yeah. Okay, so
Low key, the worst in the game. High key.
wait, what? Sorry, I'm still.
You know, now that we're talking about weird, it's like a Japanese one. Is that what that is?
I'm still trying to
A manga.
Google up the information here. Let's see.
I'm going to Japan in May.
Okay.
May
Awesome.
19th. Oh, it is May, so I'm going in
Soon, very soon, like next weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So I've been doing research on what to see, and one of the things that I researched is someone just mentioned like Japan has a huge extreme music scene, and what could that possibly be? Because
Right.
no one does extreme the way that Japan does extreme.
Right.
They are.
You know,
They are
can you guys
excellent at
agree
it.
with me
I agree.
No,
on that?
I have witnessed some of it firsthand, but
have been there.
not the super weird stuff though. Yeah. Sorry.
What's
Sorry to
extreme then?
disappoint.
What are they thinking?
So I search Japan extreme music scene
Yeah.
into Google, and the first thing that comes up is, do you know, like they do like the J-pop thing, and it's like they have like the young girls and they dress like they're like a anime maid or
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
something. They sing like happy
yeah.
songs about like, I don't know, flowers or whatever. So there's one of those, but the two, it's called idols, I guess. You know, like they try to be that's like their idea of like a celebrity or something. And there's these two girls who have a third member of the band who is a cross-dressing Australian pro wrestler, and they sing death metal combined with J-pop.
I cannot even imagine what that sounds
Yeah,
like.
it's called Lady Baby. What? Yeah, dude.
Is
So
it
it's like-
amazing? Is it just
Oh,
like
it's
an absolute
unbelievable.
mind fuck? I mean,
It's unbelievable, dude. Like there's these two like young Japanese girls singing about like sunshine and rainbows and stuff with like this like synth background to it, and then this guy just comes in like
No fucking way.
like metal music and guitars and shit.
No shit.
Yeah. The girls start like limp biscuiting over the beat. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Unbelievable. And then you look at like that sounds weird, and then you look at the lyrics. And like the lyrics are about like the Japanese economy and like certain cultural elements and stuff. They have one about ramen and how different ways you can use a ramen spoon.
okay.
One of the ways you can use it is to scoop the world from darkness because the world is a bowl of chaos. That's a real lyric.
Now,
you know?
now, just to be clear, this is you reading the actual lyrics in English, or you like looked up the translation and that's what it means?
It's like they have like a caption like during the videos.
Okay.
Dude, check, it's worth 5 minutes of your time. I've been showing everyone. Man, it's the weirdest thing that I found about Japan. You know?
Man, I feel so bad now. Like we were excited when we found like the Otter Cafe, which didn't have any otters.
The otter.
Yeah, we went to Tokyo.
What?
So when we went to Tokyo,
What'd you do there?
Went to win a combat wrestling world title and succeeded. Fist bump.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went to Japan, and as we're walking like from the train station just to like one of the hotels or whatnot, and I've got Matt Paul with me and everything, and we look over and like, does that say Otter Cafe? Sure enough, it does. And he's like, we have to go pet the otters.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay. So we wander over and we're like, hey, how much does it cost to pet the otters? And the girl who's like holding like a sugar glider, which is a weird animal that looks like a little flying squirrel from Australia. Okay. Like those are available at like normal pet stores here in America. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. We don't have any otters today.
Today.
Yeah. And we're like,
What? All out of otters.
like, what's going on? I thought this was the Otter Cafe. She's like, yeah, no, check back tomorrow. And sure enough, we did. And they didn't have any otters that day either.
Whoa.
So yeah.
Conspiracy then?
Our time with otters was
What do you think?
not going to happen.
What is it really then?
I don't know, but they had all kinds of cafes.
Something
Like
else.
they had bird cafes. They had cat cafes. Yeah, where you could like
We
if,
could pet some pussy?
no, let's not take it there. They definitely
Wow.
had that.
Yeah,
That
it's going there.
that too,
Japan
but-
gets a little freaky.
I
dude.
refuse to chuckle at that. I won't do it.
Sorry, man. It's getting really fucking late. Oh man.
But yeah. So definitely some weird stuff like that.
Yeah, they're big into the cafe game.
Obviously, doesn't matter what it is.
Never got our otters. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, did you get anything else at the cafe?
No, we didn't even go. I mean, we didn't go in. They didn't have
Didn't
otters.
you get a coffee?
No. I don't actually know that they serve food there. I think you just go to that one. I think you just go to hang out with animals. They did have one that was like a cat cafe where they 100% serve food, but it was also like being in an old lady with too many cats house.
I
And we
see.
could see it. We didn't actually go into that one because I'm allergic to cats, but we could see it. Like people were just like getting swarmed by cats sitting there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if that's
Because you tell yourself you want a cat.
right, but
you
then you
know?
go to the cat cafe,
Yeah.
you hang out with one, you're like, nah, fuck cats.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Fuck
Fuck
it. Cats
that.
are
But I
assholes.
feel like the Otter Cafe, if they actually had otters, would have gotten some money out of us because I've had no opportunity in my real life to like pet an otter or hang out in a splash pool or whatever it is you're allowed to
I don't
actually
even know where
do
they
there.
live.
Lakes and rivers mostly.
Yeah, I know that, but like, I don't know. I've never been in a lake and been like,
There's an otter.
oh, let's go get the net and capture some otters or something. I don't know. What do you do with them?
I mean, they're just adorable. I don't know that you can actually play games with a non-trained wild
That's
caught
it?
otter. Yeah.
Wasn't it? Didn't an otter like pull a girl in, or was that a seal?
You're thinking of that seal video.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was a seal. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucked up. Like
That was
you're
so
not
fucked
supposed
up.
to get that close to a
No.
large predatory animal.
No, you fucking idiots.
You know the
Does
video
no
we're
one
talking-
watch Discovery Channel anymore? Is
Apparently
that,
not. Apparently not.
We
They
discussed
don't want. They
Discovery
don't want.
Channel
To,
last
they don't
time.
want to
so-
pay for the subscription.
Wait, what?
Yeah, everything's subscription. I was looking on Amazon. I was like gonna subscribe to. I don't even know how you pronounce it. Gaia. How do you pronounce that?
Gaia?
Gaia. So, because they have all about ancient Egypt. I told you I was on the kick.
Jesus.
So now, I watch YouTube and then it shows up on my Amazon. Like, oh, you should
Because everyone's listening to everything.
right? So I'm like, oh, this is fucking right up my alley. Let me click on it, and then it's like 7-day free trial. And then if you want to,
Oh, you don't have Amazon Prime? Is that what
I
you're saying?
have Amazon Prime. This is a channel that wants to charge you $10 a month just to watch this fucking channel.
Oh. What was the
Fuck
channel
that.
called?
Gaia.
Gaia is the name of the channel.
That's the
Okay,
name
I
of the
thought that was
channel.
the program. Sorry.
No, that's the name of the channel. And they have like all like, history of whatever. I don't know.
I say.
But I was not going to pay $10 a month for that.
Okay.
I'll get it on YouTube.
Because you're like, yeah, between my Flow Grappling subscription and my,
Oh, I did cancel my YouTube premium.
Okay.
Because I finished Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai?
Finished Cobra Kai.
Are you aware of the Cobra Kai?
Yeah, I think I watched a couple episodes.
Not into it.
So was my thing.
It's okay. It's not everyone's thing.
I don't have the attention span to watch something for 15 full minutes anymore. Like I wouldn't listen to this podcast.
You have
No,
an,
no,
you have an
you can't
Instagram
do it.
attention span, not a YouTube attention span, basically?
Basically, yeah, dude, I'm done. Instagram's ruined me.
That's harsh.
It's quick, right?
You got to
Just
think
need
about the way that
information.
you teach techniques in class stuff now,
For
thanks to
Instagram?
Instagram. Yeah, you have 20 seconds, maybe 25,
Before you lose
and you
everyone?
got to be done.
That can't be true.
And the move better be fucking cool looking.
John Donaher sold like 8-hour long
Yeah.
DVD sets in large quantities at what is it, $200 a pop?
Yeah, but you've been to one of his classes, right?
One. Actually, we should talk about that because I want to know if my experience in that one class is indicative of what most of them were
Why
like.
did you laugh awkwardly when you said that?
Because it was weird.
Well, let's talk about it.
No, okay. So me and Dan Conway went to one of John's morning classes.
Yeah.
We happened to show up on the day when like all the affiliates were there for a morning class. So it was huge, massively packed room.
Is it Monday?
It was a Monday.
Monday's always packed.
Okay. So the most kind of like, well, that was weird. How do you adjust to that type thing? Was we weren't very close to the center, just where we happened to be repping. And as far as I could tell, there was no indication we were supposed to stop repping and start paying attention. But all of a sudden, John's just explaining a technique that Gordon's showing, and the room just sort of slowly migrates over to the center to start watching. And I'm like, oh, I guess we missed the call to stop. You know, that's our bad. Sorry. You know, and we just shuffle on over. So, okay, there's the technique. Let's go off into the corner, rep the technique. And it happens again. I'm like,
Usually he claps.
is it a very soft clap? Or were we just so far away?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't experience the problem, to be honest.
Do you hang out closer to
Don't
like
you
the
notice?
epicenter?
It's like whenever one pigeon flies away, like they all fly away. Like, don't you see like everyone around you like
the flock
dissolving?
mentality? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Don't you see everyone around you like erode away and?
Yeah, but I definitely missed the very first part of the explanation on each move because of it.
Oh, okay.
How far away were you?
I mean, it's like I don't want to give the impression that it's like a football stadium or anything, but yeah, like we were like
Off in the corner somewhere?
we were off towards the back near where like where the locker rooms are, kind of. So you have a mental picture of that, and most of the rest of the people don't. But yeah, we were off towards that edge corner of the mats. So yeah, it's entirely possible that we just missed the signal. But
Is that the weird part?
it's just like it.
That was it.
That
I
was
thought you were
weird.
gonna go.
No,
way
I was gonna
weirder,
go.
dude.
I was
I
gonna
thought-
go way
Wait, yo,
weird.
we were talking about fighting predators before.
I thought he was
You know,
coming out
like-
in a furry outfit. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
I think
No,
you
no.
abused that word.
Did
Weird.
I?
And I
You
want
did.
you to
There was
apologize.
an inappropriate use of my apologies. No, I'm so used to like
Like what?
coach whoever it is, like, hey, bring it in, and like not actually start showing the technique until
Everyone's there?
actually gathered, and, you know,
see.
maybe yell at a guy who's lagging because he's a fucking idiot and didn't hear, as opposed to just like, hey, you know, apparently a clap and go.
John's class is more like, do you want to be good at the move? Okay, pay attention very closely and do this. And if you want to fuck it up, that's on you, bud.
Right.
You know, it's more like you raise the expectations for people. You know, they're responsible for how good they're going to be.
How
You know?
how do you approach? Because teaching for me is very new, and how do you approach? How do I say this? You show the technique, and the way I do the technique, I try to be very precise on how I show my technique, like every detail, and I show it like, okay, step one, because it's fundamentals. Step one, step two, I break it down. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, how many moves there are, I break it all down. I said, just do this slow. You don't have to run through it quickly. This is the speed you should be doing this technique until you get more familiar with your body movement, and then you can speed it up. If that person or persons decides just totally just go right through it and miss all the little details that I'm explaining, do you correct them like right away? And then after you correct them, they completely don't listen. And then you're just like, what do you do? Just like, all right, that's just the way he's going to be. Or do you spend more time and saying, listen, man, you're not paying attention to me. This is how I want you to do it. How do you approach students like that?
I think I don't do this enough, but I know that there's a way to do it. And also, you know, within those kind of problems, there's like a hierarchy of severity of problems, you know, usually with like safety being at the top. So safety's at the top, then like your feelings don't matter and you can just totally humiliate someone, for example, at some point, you know, because you're responsible for protecting people. And then a notch below that is like something else. And then a notch below that is like maybe where you're at, which is they're really only hurting themselves by doing that. You know what I'm saying? And then a little bit, they're kind of influencing the people around them to also suck. So it's low priority.
That's where I get.
I shouldn't be that confrontational. Oftentimes I am, you know?
So you actually reprimand. You're like, listen, dude, do the technique correctly or don't come back. Or you'll get
no, I
you'll
won't
get
do that, dude.
Like,
I
listen,
won't do
bro.
that. But I don't know. You can.
But how do you encourage that
Here's the
person
thing
to do
is,
it properly?
I found out that I think it's probably better if you give people, if you tell them what to focus on instead of what not to. You know what I mean? So when you're like repping out the moves, you know, you should be emphasizing like some level of respect for the technique. You should be doing it as like correctly as possible or as technically as possible with the highest quality as possible. And to do that, you have to sacrifice a lot of the other qualities of it, like speed, for example. And if you you respect something, you know, if you're watching a movie or something, you're listening to this podcast, you're not skipping through it. You know what I mean? Like in fast forward, you know, you're slowing it down, if anything, and you're listening to it twice, et cetera, et cetera. You don't skip past shit that you value and respect. And the best way to do it, you know, if you're talking to adults and stuff, is just to tell them, like, kind of empower them, you know, which is to give them a choice. So it's like, either you can do it super fast and you're going to get really good at doing the technique wrong, and it's probably not going to work well for you.
Right.
Or you can try to maximize the quality of it and maybe sacrifice the speed of it so that you can have the highest quality technique that you can today.
Right.
You know, it's up to you. So if you want to have like a shit fucking technique, this is more my language here. If you want to get really good at just being a total spaz, do it like this.
Right.
You want to be really good at being technical. You want to make your way towards like the next rank or whatever, or just improving in general, and do it like this.
Right.
You know, because in a way, when people are training hard in general, whether it's live training or drilling, when we say train hard, that gives you an image of like working hard physically, but it doesn't elicit an image of working hard mentally. In fact, usually the more energy that you're expending and the higher intensity that you roll physically, it can only come at the cost of like not thinking when you're training. You know what I mean? And like, of course, you're competing. You shouldn't be hesitating and thinking about your every move.
Right,
But you're not competing, you're training.
Exactly.
You know, your goal is, when you're training, your goal is to like improve at the end of the class. So if you want to be lazy mentally, do it fast and with a lot of intensity and strength and shit like that. And if you want to be a hard worker with what we want in the academy, you want to be maximizing technique, you know?
Yeah, that's
that
very
makes
well
sense to you?
said. No, very well said. That's really good.
Because there's, I mean, you know, if you're coaching people, there's a concept behind something, and you have to get people to perform certain behaviors, you know? Because if you ask anyone in the class, it's like, do you guys want to get better at jiu-jitsu, or you want to fucking suck forever? Everyone's going to raise their hand that they want to get better, right? But how do you get them to do that? Because a human is not a machine. You can't just put an idea in them and then they accept it perfectly.
Right.
You know, it has to be like presented to them in some sophisticated way rather than a crude one. It's like jujitsu. You know what I mean? Like, you set shit up, and a person is already making a movement and they have a certain stance or something, and then you just give the right response to that stance to get the result that you want.
Right.
And that's how you have to treat like a new person in the academy, you know?
Yeah, that's nice. It's clever. See, we got back to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That's
you go.
fantastic.
That's my philosophy on it, though.
Should have
So
asked some
what-
of those questions sooner.
Yeah, right. Where did you start doing your jiu-jitsu? Because you've been doing it for a while, right?
Yeah, I started at a place called Madama Jiu-Jitsu. It's funny because if I go through all my, well, maybe I'll put it this way. I started at Madama Jiu-Jitsu, who was like a Matt Serra purple belt. Started under a purple belt in 2006. You know, I saw some Renzo Gracie shit. And then I ended up at another place who was a Ricardo Almeida black belt. Okay, Ricardo Almeida. So Ricardo Almeida. Then I stuck with that from white all the way to brown. Like, I went to school. I trained under a different guy when I was in, I went to school in Pennsylvania. I lived in China for like a year and a half. I trained under a Brazilian top team black belt, a Carlson Gracie black belt when I was out there. And then when I came back to America, somehow I ended up in New York, and I ended up training at Renzo's. I went to a bunch of the different schools, Marcel's and stuff. So I kind of started like Matt Serra, he got it from Renzo, and then Ricardo made a black belt. Ricardo got it from Renzo. And then I ended up like kind of at the source of where the jiu-jitsu was coming from the whole time, you know?
Right,
It was
right.
interesting how that worked out, and it didn't really happen by design,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Man. And then when did you get your black belt?
Like a year ago.
Nice.
Yeah. I was a brown belt for like 6 years.
Well, you moved around a lot, you said, so sometimes that's a
Yeah, it doesn't
contributing
help,
factor.
dude. It's not a good sign. You know? But it wasn't for, I never got, I wasn't like getting kicked out of places and shit. You know what I mean? I was just
Right,
like, I
right,
went to
just
college over
circumstances.
here. I moved over to China. I ended up moving into New York. It wasn't like I burned bridges. I'm cool with, like all of my past instructors, you know?
Right.
Well, I mean, just in jiu-jitsu, I mean, I think people move around. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It just happens, you know? I don't know what the holdup though becomes. Is it that when you move to a new academy, they just have to like assess you before they give you a black belt, or
And the black belt's a big step.
it's a big step. It's a big get, right?
Yeah.
So is it just like, oh, we gotta get to know you now. We gotta know your game. It's just not a matter of like, oh, he's fucking phenomenal in jiu-jitsu. Okay, here's a black belt. But it's just like you're gonna represent that person who gave you that black belt. So it has to be something a little bit more intimate, right?
I don't know. Ask them. You know?
How would you feel?
I have no idea.
You have your own academy
I was
now, right?
submitting like black belts and stuff in competition. I submitted texts when I was still a brown belt, you know?
But like you have your own academy now.
I have my own program. I run a program
Okay, you run
at the
a program.
academy.
But if you were to have your own academy and you had someone who came in who was a brown belt from
Yeah.
another academy and you knew that dude's fucking high level, would you award him a black belt under your name? Or would you get to know him a little bit and see how he progresses throughout the next year or two? Because he's going to say, oh, I got my black belt from, Ryan Quinn. Or
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That one's like, it's the herpes of the belts. Like you keep it forever, you know?
Yeah.
You can't, you don't get rid of that one.
No.
You know, no one's like, yeah, I got my first degree under so-and-so. You know,
Right.
like that's the one. You know, your blue to brown, all of them combined don't equal what you got from black. It's strange
Exactly.
how that works out. It's like a lot of the time the belt is nothing. It's a piece of cloth, and then somehow also it's super significant.
Right.
You know, it's like your brand. And if that person does something, you're always going to be connected to them,
Right.
whether you want to or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I would probably, I would get to know people.
Get to know 'em.
It's the biggest jump.
It's the biggest jump.
You know?
Right. Yeah. What do you think about Keenan going over to BJ? Is it Globetrotters?
Globetrotters,
BJJ? Yeah.
Pretty cool. I mean,
I didn't realize how big Globetrotters was.
yeah, it's a massive
It's
organization.
fucking huge, I guess.
Yeah. I don't like. I know some people that have been involved with it, and I've seen videos from their camps and everything like that. And it seems like actually a really cool thing to be a part of. Although I say that as somebody who doesn't actually own an academy and therefore doesn't actually have to follow like their rules and whatnot. But yeah, like that's interesting to me. Like that was the choice instead of. But I think it's kind of perfect because he seems like he doesn't want to be dealing with anyone else's rules and structures, and I think he's probably got the most freedom that anyone was going to give him. Probably going with their organization.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens when he starts competing and see how that affects maybe
Well,
his game or something. I
think it's just like non-committal.
right.
Is he training with like at Globetrotters gym somewhere?
No, he's like
he's just flying
he's
the
just
flag.
he can't represent just himself.
Yeah, you got
yet.
to throw an academy down.
Right.
Right.
He's got to have an academy registered for worlds and whatnot. He's training with a bunch of different people. He just trying things out and hasn't landed anywhere yet. May not. Who knows?
Yeah, it's almost just like a loophole, basically.
Right.
Right.
Basically a loophole, to compete at IBJJF.
Right.
Like, is it not a loophole to compete at IBJJF?
I mean, I guess it is.
Yeah, right.
Sort of. Like
You put in an academy that you may have never trained at or met the people.
and they're okay
You know
with
what I
it.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're okay with it.
Right. But here's the thing. I might be speaking out of turn here. I feel like there's plenty of academies that would have been like, yes, absolutely, you can fly our flag and and do whatever.
Right.
There's plenty that were like, no, you're going to have to do this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, but that would have said something different. That we would have interpreted that as him actually going with them. With Globetrotters, we all know it's like
It's neutral-ish. Yeah.
yeah,
like,
that's
it's not
like you might as well put blank. You
But they won't let you,
That's
so-
the closest to put not applicable that you can put.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't personally find that significant.
Do you think academies threw some cash at him? Like, hey man, why don't you come over here?
I saw a fair number of people on Instagram and Reddit and whatnot, like being like, yeah, please come to my school type stuff. But I don't think anyone in a position of real authority.
I mean, is that
doing
a thing in jiu-jitsu where like, hey man, we'd like you because it looks good for our school. We'll get more students. You know, kind of like NBA or NFL draft picks. You know, like hey, come on our team because we're gonna get more people's eyes on our academy and more revenue and this and that for all the people who want to come train with Keenan.
Right.
Is that a thing in jiu-jitsu?
Well, I heard he got asked to leave. Right?
Yeah, that's
That's
what
like
I
you
heard
got
too.
fired. You didn't quit. You got fired. That's kind of not a good look. You
Right.
know, I'm sure it's happened. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's happened. But also, if you're running a program, that's like it's kind of a red flag. You know what I mean? And
Like,
did
you
the
don't- you don't
details
play
come
well
out
with
about it, or
he's been fairly tight-lipped on it.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't gone into the
There's some
details. and
theories
I-
out there though.
There's plenty of theories about it. Yeah, but like I don't think I've seen anything from Galvao or anything either. So
Well, Gabal,
Yeah.
what's he gonna say? He's not
no, but I'm
gonna
just
say
saying, like everyone's being tight-lipped on it. The details haven't come out in full. Keenan readily admitted that he was asked to leave and hasn't really, that I've seen, expanded on it too much more beyond that. He made some allusions to the fact that like he wasn't flying the flag the way they wanted to, wasn't willing to bow to certain rules and whatnot apparently, and it was causing strife, and something broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I mean, that's like a theory though. Could have been anything.
right, yeah. Like I said, the details aren't out there. He hasn't shared them. Galvao
And it's
hasn't
like,
shared his side.
why wouldn't you say something like that? If everyone's talking about it, why wouldn't you just say like, he wants to do his thing and we do things a certain way here. And it's like, it doesn't work for our system and we don't work for his system. It's simple as
Right,
that,
right.
It's like, and it's fine. I wish him luck. I have no animosity towards the guy. He
Right.
just, he's not fitting here. Simple as that.
Right.
He's
That's
been there
like
for a while,
fine.
though.
I would nod at that and be like, that's fine. You should be able to do that.
Right.
You
He's
know?
been there for a long time.
Good luck.
Right.
Yeah, he landed there not long after he left Team Lloyd Irvin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a while. I'd have to look back and see how many years that is now. But
I
yeah,
mean, do you consider jiu-jitsu a team sport?
Yes and no.
Right.
Yeah,
an-
it's a strange
it's an individual team
strange
sport.
combo.
Right.
I mean, you give out like team awards, right?
Right.
At a lot of the tournaments,
Right.
and you're kind of only as strong as your team for the most part. It's the system that helps create you.
Right.
You can should be carefully done. So I don't know. You're like Danaher's always talking about knives and stuff. If you're forming a blade that's useful, a katana or something, it's like you heard like steel sharpens steel or iron sharpens iron or something. I don't think that's how it works. But I don't know.
Well, no,
but
yeah.
it's like you smash shit around. You know what I mean? But you do it with a level of precision, and there's like a purpose to the design. And each like strike that you make on the metal is supposed to form it into something that has been improved. You know what I mean? So like any result of the metal can really only be as good as the person who's working it. Okay, the system, the circumstances around it that form its creation.
Right.
And there's also, you have to like take into consideration like the piece that you work with. Sometimes whatever like the material is,
Right,
an idiot could blindfold themselves and just hit it so many times that no matter what comes out, it's always going to be something really useful.
'Cause it's an
You know what I mean?
exceptional material.
It's going to be good for something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's actually the classic story with the katana. The reason they developed the excessive folding of the metal is because actually their metal in Japan is pretty low quality
Yeah.
steel. So, they had to develop a system that by working and working and working that they could produce a acceptable, some would say superior blade. Whereas like steel from Spain, for example, is super high quality steel. And not that you have to be like, an idiot to screw it up, but much less work needs to go into it to make an excellent tool.
You ever
or weapon.
watched Forged by Fire?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So have I.
No.
Have you seen it?
What is it?
It's a television show about forging steel, making blades and making weapons.
It's a show.
It's a show. It's really good, actually.
How many seasons though?
There's a lot of
no
YouTube.
idea. I have no
There's
idea
a
how
lot of
many
YouTube
seasons.
channels we could hook you up with too.
You guys know me, man. I don't watch seasons.
Right.
You know, I don't watch shows until I know exactly how many seasons.
I have no
I'm
idea
getting
how many
into.
seasons
It's
there are.
ongoing, I believe so.
It's on. What is it on? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
need a
history?
fuck buddy, man. I can't deal with a marriage. Yeah.
Very non-committal.
It's pretty good.
What were
I
we
mean,
just
because
saying?
it's kind of cool how they just utilize different metals, and then you kind of learn about forging, and you're like, then they actually put it to test. It's pretty
Right.
cool. It's a good show.
But that was actually just a metaphor.
I know. I know it was a metaphor. I was just saying. Did you ever see it?
dude,
Because
metaphor.
the metaphor was great. It
was a
reminded
metaphorical.
me about the show. So yeah, it's very good. What else is going on? Anything else? We showing technique if the gym is still open.
Yeah, dude. Yo, throw this up. So this is going to be this is going on the Grapplers Union podcast Instagram. You guys have Instagram?
Yeah.
You just don't know how to use it.
Yeah, it's called.
This
It's
is
called
the
Grappler Union Instagram.
technique that you're going to use should you have to go into hand-to-hand combat against a predator.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, you got this one, right? Because you got the move.
I got that.
It's the Imanari roll.
Imanari roll. Yeah. Imanari to heel hook.
This is the anticipated technique.
He'll do it on Javier. We'll blur him out and post, so he's got that blurry.
Do I have to wear? Do I have to
just
like go get
the
like a green
silhouette.
suit?
Yeah.
Easily removed from the scene.
Yeah, he goes to get the green suit. It's just a furry outfit.
What is your furry?
Really?
We'll have before we
By the
wrap this
description,
up.
apparently it's like a brightly colored parrot or something.
It could be. It could be one of those flying squirrels. I could
a
see
sugar
that.
glider?
The sugar
An
glider.
otter. I knew it was a fucking otter, man.
That's what I was hinting at all along. Yeah, no, this is bullshit. There's a million guys that are like the Wolverine, like Eddie.
Yeah.
There's a ton of pit bulls and
Sugar
whatnot,
glider.
and I'm the sugar glider.
Javier, the sugar glider.
That's where I ended up.
That's
Jesus.
it.
Dude, that's sexy though, man.
I-
Sugar glider.
Sugar
That sounds
glider's pretty adorable.
Yeah, your walkout song and Fight to Win would be like a sweet R&B jam from the 70s or some shit. Dude. And now, welcome to the stage, the sugar glider.
Dear God,
That's hot, dude.
it's just
You
disturbing.
think about all the ladies sliding off their chair when you come out, dude. And keep that beard. Don't you shave that thing. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. You're the only one that's going to get vinyl for your song out of that Fight to Win, man.
For sure, man.
Yes.
Yes, definitely vinyl.
Come out in like a silk robe.
That I would do.
He's 100% on board with that one, dude.
Are you writing this shit down?
No, I just imagine like Ric Flair's entrance into the
Okay.
yeah, styling and profiling.
Let's see.
Have you ever had Jerry curls?
No, but I do get natural Jew curl going when it's appropriate humidity / hair length. So
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, my wife gets very jealous of the fact that my hair gets like naturally curly.
Yeah.
She's like, "Do you know how hard I work to get my hair to do what yours does?" And I'm like,
She's
"Yeah."
jealous of that?
Yeah, she loves the way it curls up.
I didn't mean that as like a slight.
No,
But
no.
that was just surprising that a woman would be that way.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, because her hair is very straight, and she's got to act like when she wants to curl it, she got to actually put like curlers in and do all this work and whatnot. I just take a shower.
The grass really is greener. Is that right?
I personally find it moderately annoying, but yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I can't grow my hair longer than this, or else it starts getting curly. This is the max right here.
That's it.
Or it becomes.
Dries quickly though, so it's very efficient.
Yeah. But that stash,
It's
though.
the efficiency
dude,
of the hair.
Your stash is
Yeah.
pretty powerful. It
Yeah.
says something.
It's on
Yeah,
for
rock
me.
the stash keeps children away. They don't bother me. They know.
So no
You
kids
ever go
program. Is that what
handlebar
you're
with
saying?
that? Because you look like you could do handlebar with that one.
I could rock. That's too much, man. That's like a statement.
Yeah.
That's like everyone look at me.
For sure.
You know?
For
I want
sure.
everyone to look away from me.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And it
'Cause
works.
You want to take their neck.
You know?
You want
For
to be a little gray
Take
man.
the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. Where can people find you, man? Let's wrap this up.
At Pizza Jitsu on Instagram. That's it. I'll give my Instagram. What else should I give? My phone number?
No, probably
Probably
not.
not.
Oh,
Probably not a
okay.
good idea.
I mean, do you want dick pics?
Or or furry pics. I don't know what's going to come down the road.
He seemed really into it on the podcast.
dude,
Let's
yeah,
give it a try.
Just Pornhub links everywhere. Just random.
Jits-hub.
Mixed wrestling and shit. So I already seen all these videos. Get out of here. Cool. Yeah. Hit me up on Instagram at Pizza Jitsu.
And then your seminars are all on Instagram. You post all that stuff.
Yeah, check out my seminars. My seminars are my seminars unique?
They're excellent.
Are they actually good?
They're actually
Okay.
good.
Why
Yes.
are they actually good?
The detail, the way you systematize things, like this is going to sound like a sort of a weird plug, because unfortunately this is not going to come out in enough time to help send the masses
for
to
future.
you. But for future reference, definitely keep up with me and keep up with Pizza Jitsu to be aware of these things. But we had you out for at Fit to Defend. We did a seminar on leg locks, and it was several months later. I don't remember how many. Like, I want to say it was like 7 or 8 months later. You came out again, gave another seminar. I don't know whether you just had it all handled mentally or whatnot, but the way the information flowed between the two, where it was just a wonderful addition, where if you went to one or the other, you got a great seminar. But if you went to both, you got everything integrated well together between the two. Like Beautiful. I said, months apart, and everything flowed.
Beautiful.
So
awesome.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is you want to get if you go out with a hot chick, she's really boring. She doesn't have to work very hard. Mm-hmm. But you go out with that like 6, she has a really good personality from being bullied all those years and looked over.
I see.
Okay. So I'm not a very famous person in jiu-jitsu. I'm the shitty steel the Japanese have to work with. So when I teach a seminar, no one there wants to meet me. So I just have to make it as good and valuable as possible for all of the people, so that the actual seminar itself is an extremely valuable and rewarding experience for people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
yes.
Do you agree with that?
And I would say, having done multiple seminars with you now, mission accomplished.
Yeah. And then
Good
we're going to do
times.
our third tomorrow.
Third is tomorrow.
Okay. For anyone who can't see, I'm giving them $20 bucks.
Oh, Bruno, edit that out.
All right, let's go do some technique.
All right.
Let's do it.
Quinn, man, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
having
It's been
me.
a blast, man.
Thank you for having me in this extremely bright room late at night.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. For more information about Grappler Union Podcast, you could visit us at our website at grapplerunion.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Grappler Union. Please like us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. And all of our episodes are available on our YouTube channel. Say what?
Be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to all that shit. You got to do another take, right?
Oh.